It's time for the type of energy only Darren McCarty and Neil Rule can give. It's time for Big D Energy, live on Woodward Sports. Join four-time Stanley Cup champion and legendary badass Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neil Rule, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., as they give their takes on all things Detroit sports. The number one midday show in Detroit is on. Welcome to Big D Energy.
Yo, 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 what's going on, buddy? Welcome back to another week of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neil Rule. That guy is Sean Belizian.
Hi, pal.
Hey, buddy.
How was your trip to Florida?
Oh, it was fine. It was fine. Entertaining game to call. Was fun. Went to see the Marlins Friday night. It was 78 degrees. Perfect weather. Had a drink. Watched baseball. Everything was great. Everything I could ask for. I become the master of the 4-hour vacation. So that's what it was. How about yourself, man? Smoke some meat, probably?
I did a ton over the weekend. With the Game 7s, man.
Yeah.
That was, you know what? We've been on this sausage kick. So, like, whenever we find some new exotic sausage, we have to have Sausage Fest. And, I mean, it's two Game 7s. Both Game 7s, in particular the game on Saturday, were boring as hell until the third period. And then it picked up in the third period, but there's still nothing like Game 7. There isn't. And you go to double overtime in one. It was phenomenal.
No, they were. And the playoffs have delivered. No question about it. KG, what's really good?
Hey, Javi Baez.
Javi Baez.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
That shot one of a morning, I'm just warning everybody, there are going to be a lot of shots this morning. Oh, yeah. There are going to be a lot of shots. Don't give me that look. You're giving me that look right now. There it is.
He
Sean,
know his tone
there
is
it
coming.
is.
Just remember
his tone
this.
is coming.
I didn't do anything. I asked AI to put a picture of me and Javi having a drink together and put it on social media to bring everybody together.
Listen to me. I pissed myself. It was about 11 o'clock
Yeah.
last night. I'm trying to stay awake, and all of a sudden this picture of Neil and Javi sharing a drink shows up. And it was like I needed a jolt to help me stay awake
There
for
it
that
was.
double overtime marathon.
What about this one?
And that's Stop it! It's so stupid. It's so stupid. Do you have Neil's picture?
I can grab it, yeah.
Neil and Javi being BFFs. I don't know why. That just hit me last night. It's like 11 o'clock, and
It looked natural, though, didn't it? Like people say AI is not real life. It looked real life.
It looked natural at all. That was the best part about it.
What are you talking about? Just a couple of...
We're going to let the people. We're
Yeah.
going to let the people decide.
Just a couple of
We'll
dudes
find that
having
picture.
coffee.
That was-
Spencer Raxter in the building.
Hello.
Spenmo, how was your
It
weekend?
was a great weekend. Had a lot of fun.
You always do.
Yeah, I mean, I've been known to live it up on the weekend. It was my nephew's baptism was yesterday,
Okay.
so went there. Yeah, it was good.
So you got a little faith in him.
Yeah, shout out Asher Joseph Pastoria, newly baptized.
You prayed to Javi,
I did pray to Javi.
Damn right.
Did pray to Javi.
Our Lord and
and
Savior.
he delivered you.
And he did. Yeah, he did.
He did deliver you.
And
Young-
it was a spring fest at Coonan. They're like spring solstice kind of thing.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. They had the smoker out. I got a fucking pork. They were out of the lamb shanks by the time I got there, but I got a pork shank. It was just basically pulled pork on the bone.
Yeah.
It was so good. Good stuff.
we
we
got-
got really good, Sean.
we got young Justin in the building.
Shout out.
What's good?
What's up? What's up? Chase here in the Chase Lounge. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat there. By the way, jump into there, subscribe, and go ahead and get your thoughts in there. All right, let's There it is. There's AI.
That is beautiful.
Myself and Javi having a drink together.
Look
you
at
know,
that.
Look
just
at the
talking.
detail. Roses in the background.
Yeah.
Come
Salmon
on.
jacket.
Yeah, just talking. Just talking. You tell me if I can change and you can change. Everybody can change, Sean. So
You're
there
a
it
Javi
is.
fan.
There it is.
You're a
Javi
Javi
and
fan.
I
I knew it.
together.
I knew it.
Frolicking.
I smelled it on you.
All right, jump into that chat. It was funny because I opened up Twitter and they're like, we make Grok advancements and stuff like that, and you can say, draw me a picture. So the first thing that pops in my head, Grok, draw me a picture. Me and Javi having a drink together, and that's what it came up with right away.
Beautiful.
Great
It
stuff.
was awesome. All right, the chat. Get into the chat, and I know that Javi's going to be a big thing, but there was news that dropped this morning in the world of college football. What? I didn't. You know what, Sean?
You
I
know
didn't
what's
do
coming.
this.
Sean
I
know
didn't
what's
do
coming.
this.
Sean know you on
Sharon
bullshit.
Moore is going to be suspended for, how does it work now, KG? 2 games.
Yep, self-imposed.
the second Saturday or the fourth Saturday with an option to it to be the fifth Thursday of hand-selected games.
We got a funny man over here. It's weeks 3 and 4. Weeks 3 and 4.
So he's suspended weeks 3 and 4,
Yes.
games against Central Michigan and Nebraska. But he does coach week 2 against Oklahoma.
And that's a problem. Why?
So you get to pick and choose when you're suspended.
It's self-imposed. Why not?
Okay.
You think I'm going to pick the 2 biggest games on my schedule to sit my suspension out?
So it is self-imposed. And
Yeah.
by the way, Dan Wetzel broke the news today, our guy. I should get Dan on the show.
Yeah.
So it was self-imposed.
Sure.
Michigan chose to do that.
Absolutely.
For no reason, right?
Well, it might probably tie over from the Sharon Moore, Connor Stallions text fiasco that happened.
Okay, cool. Let me get I have the live chat of the text messages that people send into the show.
All right.
What do you want to bet Mike G's first text is not about
come on.
Michigan? Minus
This Mike G we talking
50,000.
about. That's not a fair comparison.
Minus 50,000. Here, let me scroll. All right. Happy birthday, Mike G.
Mike G.
Appreciate
Yeah,
it.
Oh,
shout
was
out
it?
Mike
Happy
G.
birthday.
My dog, Michigan brother.
John effing Lord was the first one in. Say his name and he will appear. I believe in El Mago.
Damn
I
right.
believe in El Mago. And then he says Javi service will start at 11 a.m. Praise Javi.
Praise Javier.
Sandy Dorton, have a great day, Big D Energy fans and family. Thank you,
Thank you,
Sandy.
Sandy.
Shout out
Appreciate it.
Sandy.
So
You're
we'll
very
scroll
nice.
down.
Much love.
We'll scroll down. Let me see the first one that I see here
Bye-bye. You wait
from
for
Mike G. I am.
I think it was about. I got it.
Oh,
right
here it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Here it is. El Mago. Let me see. Where did it go?
El Mago hitting 309. Second on the team with 7 doubles with less at bats.
Absolutely.
829 OPS.
Steve brings up the fact, how about that 1.5 team leading WAR for Javi?
Yep.
Which is, Sean, that is incredible to me, seeing as he's on pace to hit like 15 home runs.
I can't. You have to drop it with as well as he's playing right now. You know what? The next phase could be.
Where he could lay down the bunt?
No, you know what the next phase will be? If you want to have the can he continue it conversation, we can have that conversation. But right now, again, Neil, I'm trying so hard to be fair because $25 million, I know. I don't have any complaints about the way he's playing.
Yeah.
None.
Sure.
None. Zero. Like, you have, like,
He is
I
playing.
have to shut up.
He
Because
is-
I do that. You know, I'm maybe not as harsh as you, but did I think he'd come back? Nope. Was he awful the last couple of years? Yep. Is it one of the worst contracts in MLB? Yep. Is he playing well right now? Very well? Yes. Everything says so. And so there comes a time where you have to shut up, right? And I'm not saying that to you.
Yeah.
Like, I have to sit back and I have to go, okay, all the things that I was worried about, and I laughed at you
Yeah.
when you said it was the hip surgery.
New
New
hip
hip
hobby.
hobby.
New hip
I
hobby.
coined it.
And you know what? I hope it continues. I hope it continues. Isn't
As
that
do
where
I.
we're at?
Hey,
Sean, like
I
when
want
you
it to
drill
continue.
down to this, Sean, I want the Tigers to win. He's helping the Tigers win as opposed to getting in the way,
Yeah.
as he has in the past.
There we go.
And I will say this, because it is still relevant to me. You can ignore it if you want. To me, it's relevant. and look, we hashed it out. We hashed it out over a drink at the Derby. I believe that was at the
cartoon AI
Kentucky
was
Derby.
He said the Derby, yeah.
Yeah, we were at the
Is that
Derby
where you
together.
guys were?
Yeah, we were.
Juleps, that's what it
Yes,
was?
100%.
No, but for me, Sean, it's always going to go back to that. Even a team leading 1.5 WAR, the best team in baseball with the team leader is a 1.5 WAR, which is wild to me. It flies in the face of everything, but that's a discussion for later. That is. It's just, Sean, it will never not be a fact to me that he is not paid a 1.5. He's paid like a 4 WAR player.
Yeah.
He is. And he can hang out with Barry Bonds and Pete Rose all he wants.
Yeah.
He can. But yet and still, Sean, it is a negative value, but it's fine. But he
you-
is helping them win.
That's so much
I'm
You
cool
got to
with it.
deal with it. You ain't got access
No.
to the accounts like Illich Holdings. You don't.
What,
so
what
it
do
is
you, what do
it
you
is.
mean, like, I got to deal with it? I just told you I'm happy he's helping the team win that I watch all the time.
Hold on, we gonna test your new faith then. Somebody in the morning show chat dropped this. They said that Javi Baez's contract is better value than what's his name, Mike Trout's contract.
Wrong.
Not Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike
You
Trout.
mean the face of baseball for a decade?
Oh, the face of baseball that's been on the IR, the IL,
That-
well,
that-
DL,
okay. Oh, I would
whatever
say
list
this.
You want to put him on?
During that run when he was the face of baseball and like damn near a triple crown winner, he was underpaid at that time. You know how I know? He's only making like $9 million more than Javi this year.
And guess what? You paid him.
Well, but that's
Same
the way
thing
that
with
works.
Javi.
Pujols, Miggy, that's the way.
Javi, same thing with
But
him.
KG, because you can't pay them here again for the 100th time. For the people that can't understand it, his market value is probably 55 or 60 million. They can't pay that because it takes you over the tax threshold.
I understand.
So they just stretch it on the back to save money. That's why they do it.
Yeah.
He was worth that.
Yeah.
He's worth 60 million a year at the time. He's not anymore. But to be fair, the contract would be over next year if they could have just paid him market value.
Right.
But they can't because of the tax structure of baseball. So that's
I just wanted to test your faith. That's all.
Okay.
So far, so good.
All right. But yeah, we have a lot to get into this morning. We will get into the Michigan thing. And I know you guys are going to be mad about it. But just remember, I didn't self-impose sanctions on anybody. Michigan did.
That is true.
You blame Michigan for this.
Yeah.
The president of my corporation didn't leave under the cover of a Sunday night. Yours did. Yours did. And we are talking about it because it is relevant. It might not be relevant to you, but it is news relevant. The Tigers will still be there, and we will get there.
Neil, the greatest misunderstanding, and we were talking about this in the studio before the show started, is like last August when the Stallions doco came out, everybody thought that things were done. And it was like, no, the NC2A hasn't even ruled on the Stallion stuff yet. Everything that's already come down the pike, okay, has been pre-Stallion stuff. And I even use these terms. The NC2A moves like a glacier more often than not. They do.
Yes.
We talked about this on the show. So I think a lot of people out there are going, wait a second, this is happening again? Well, no, not really. We haven't even gotten to the Stallion stuff yet. The NC2A hasn't gotten to the Stallion stuff yet. What's the penalty going to be? I don't know. But something tells me I'm going to go out on a limb. Something tells me that the president saw some pitchforks and torches way off in the distance, and Michigan saw some pitchforks and torches way off in the distance.
And Jim Harbaugh saw some pitchforks.
To suddenly say, well, we're gonna self-impose. And the guy that was in his quote-unquote dream job decided to go to Florida. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to speculate what it is.
How far away are the pitchforks? Because I keep hearing about the pitchforks.
It'll be this summer.
Okay.
It'll be before the start of the season.
I thought I heard that last summer. Maybe I was lying.
No, not for me.
Well, clearly nothing's going on, right, KG?
They were
clearly.
You got to remember, okay, when the doco came out, they were still in the midst of the investigation. They were, because remember when they showed that cringy scene of were you in attendance at the Michigan State Central Michigan game? I do not recall.
Do not recall.
I do not recall. That whole, you are still in the midst of the investigation then. Again, I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen. But this is a precursor. They know something's going to come down. They all know something.
Well, KG says it's not. Said they got nothing.
Those
were his words.
They got
KG,
nothing.
you know
Until
something's
further
coming.
notice, they have nothing.
So you just had your coach
They
sit
got
out the
something.
second Tuesday and the fourth Thursday.
Yeah, because
for no
we would
reason.
much rather self-impose than to have the petty-ass NCAA keep fucking with us. So, yeah, we're going to self-impose because you don't know
nothing
how to
happened.
govern your own motherfucking
No, but
sports
KG,
league.
nothing happened.
So
You
that's
just told
fine.
me that.
We'll
All right,
self-impose.
let's take the break. Real quick, super chat. Michael DeVries. Neil and Javi in the super chat. Neil and Javi look like partners for the next Law and Order series.
Oh, shit.
Like we just got hired together and we're at the company
Could
mixer.
you
I
imagine
wish I had
True
the sound
Detective?
effect.
I'd go full HBO
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, you see that right there?
Dum, dum.
Javier, I'm looking forward to working with you. As I am you, Neil. Burn in the super chat. Tigers have a culture. The young guys restored Javi's faith in his own greatness. They inspired Glaber to run the bases hard. Burn also in the chat. Burn.
It's a good call.
Yeah, Burn also said they kick around the trash cans and find a second baseman. They walk outside and point to the bum begging and put him in the bullpen. They just win. No, when we get to the Tiger stuff, I'm going to continue a discussion we had where they called me a madman, Spenny, on social media.
I'm on board now, Neil.
They're going to the World Series.
I said it this morning.
He did.
I'm on
They're
the
going.
train. I'm with you.
And when we're going to lay out Sean, this is another part in the continuing series. It's another part in the continuing series. We're going to do it all. All right, Les Stanford, talk about it.
I'll tell you about Les Stanford. Les Stanford Buick GMC has deals for everyone. Get a 2025 Envision Preferred all-wheel drive. for only $259 per month, or try out the 2025 Sierra Double Cab Elevation for only $169 per month. Don't forget about the 2025 Hummer EV SUV for $699 per month. Get to Les Stanford today and check out their massive inventory. Les Stanford Buick GMC, lesstanford.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
All right, we're off and running on a Monday. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG, Young Justin, Chase, Spencer Raxter here with you. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Subscribe to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel. Jump in there. And the news broke this morning on the heels of the news last night. For those of you that chose not to consume it, Santo Ono decided that he is leaving the University of Michigan, his dream job, his words, not mine. On
Years
the back of this morning's news, Dan Wetzel reported from ESPN, Michigan's expected to suspend Coach Jerome Moore 2 games during the 2025 season as a self-imposed punishment in the advanced scouting case. Industry sources tell me Moore is expected to miss weeks 3 and 4 against Central Michigan and Nebraska, but will coach week 2 against Oklahoma. So, they're picking and choosing or whatever. And, okay.
Good management.
Okay. So, again, my question is a baseline question. KG told me, quote, they got nothing. Yet the coach
we would have had it by now.
The coach left, the president left, and the new coach has been suspended.
And we still have heard nothing.
Well,
in terms of what the NCAA has. Where is
except people just keep leaving or getting suspended.
That's fine. That don't mean that's speculation.
By you, right? By Michigan.
It's speculation on your part, too.
Because speculation by Michigan,
they're
right?
leaving, but that don't necessarily mean they're leaving because what the NCAA is doing.
Okay, but is it
Did
weird?
we check to see how much Santa Ono is getting from Florida?
Is it weird that the president leaves Sunday night and the coach gets suspended Monday morning? That's just a heck of a coincidence, huh, KG?
I believe they are related.
They could be.
That's very.
They could be. But
they,
I'm
they
not.
Could, okay, they could be.
They
related.
could be, but I'm not willing to go out here until they present something concrete. I'm good.
It was, if you go back and you read some of the stories, though, and gosh, it doesn't seem like it was 9 months ago. And I just pulled a story up. I could read verbatim. It was exactly what I said before we went to the break. If you guys want, I'll read it. It was the NOA, which is a notice of allegation, was presented.
Yep.
Michigan has 90 days to respond.
Wait, Sean. Mm-hmm. I was told, quote, they have nothing.
Yes.
So they do have something.
They do
I'm
have
confused.
Something.
Okay, thank you.
Here's after the response, the Wolverines had until late November to address the accusations.
No.
After a response, the NCAA could then call a meeting of the Committee on Infractions for Michigan to make its case, but that would take place well after the 2024 season is complete. This was the timeline all along.
Okay.
And it just was. This is how the This is how the NC2A works. I'm going to say it again. I'm not, and Spenny, I know you feel the same way. I don't give two craps if I'm Michigan. I don't. If you're a Michigan fan, Neil, I said it then, I say it now. I'm Larry Bird.
That's the problem. Neil wants us to care. We don't.
Yes, Mr. Rule.
Mr. Belichian, Neil
Yes.
Rule, Woodward Sports.
Hi, Neil.
Question for you.
Yes.
Here's where I keep getting hung up, and if you could provide any kind of clarification on this. I was told by the Michigan people, quote, they got nothing. Yet you say there's been a notice of allegations sent against Michigan. Would that be consistent when a side or an organization has nothing?
No, sir. I'm just answering honestly.
Mr. Belichian, a quick follow-up
Yes,
to
sir.
that. Was I lied to, perhaps?
I think people didn't have their information. I won't go as far as to saying you were lied to, but I think people didn't have the correct information. Yes, Mr. Rule.
Mr. Belichian, Neil Rule again, Woodward Sports. But you told me the information was given. Yet for people to conclude that they, quote, don't have the information.
Semantics, man, over here.
Seems to really fly in the face of truth.
That is a very interesting observation on your part. Yes, people knew that an NOA was given. I am reading verbatim. Let me check the date on this from this story from CBS Sports. It was August 25th,
Fake news media.
2024. Was it the fake news media?
Fake news
That
media.
is another thing. Mr. Raxter, I cannot comment on that. I do not know.
Mr. Belichian, can I
Mr.
elaborate?
KG.
Yes. Can I elaborate on the statement that was given that they have nothing?
Yes, sir.
It's a pretty nuanced answer. It's pretty much saying that they don't have anything concrete, because if all I'm being told that this was directly wrong, what Connor Stallions did is against the rules, everybody knows it, it's clearly written in the rule book that what he did was a violation and he should be punished. I just don't see why it takes 2 years to get that punishment when it's dead to rights that he did something wrong.
Mr. KG, to answer that question, I would say, and this is where most Michigan fans, including yourself, have been pretty realistic about this. There are some human beings out there that tell me with a straight face that was not Connor Stallions on the sideline in East Lansing.
True.
There are.
I don't stand by that.
And
but
I'm
that's
sure
fine.
there will be people in the chat momentarily that that's crazy. You're such a dick. That was awesome. I'm sure there will be people that will momentarily say those types of things. I don't know what this is the big we don't know part. Are they considering Sharon Moore a repeat offender? I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
If they
Can't
are,
answer that.
and as stated in this story, here, again, this is from August 25th, 2024.
Yeah.
To tell you, and that happened to coincide with the whole Netflix thing that we all watched and all that. Quote, Moore could be considered a repeat violator after he received punishments regarding a separate NC2A investigation into illegal recruiting practices so this is the misunderstanding part. And again, I'm not saying this is you. Everything that's happened to this point is Burgergate, okay? This is something new.
Yeah, the text messages are sent
now we're
allegedly.
going into the Connor Stallion stuff. None of that has been addressed yet by the NC2A. Mr. Rule.
Mr. Belichian, I do believe that other incident that you refer to did deal with the illegal recruiting of a quarterback that was on the national championship Michigan football team who now plays for the soft Minnesota Vikings. So you do say,
Oh, yeah,
so
he gonna get his shit off.
So Sean, just to back this up, this is separate from that. We're talking about
100%.
multiple allegations against Michigan.
That is Mr. Rule. I'm glad that you, to use a quote that you're fond of, drilled down.
Okay. No, and the reason I say that is before in a non-related incident, because the people that I have spoke to have not been truthful with me about it.
Mr. Rule, you're speaking to the wrong people.
Mr.
Well,
Rule,
it was you, as a matter of fact,
Mr.
that I thought.
Mr. Rule.
Yes.
Just to reiterate, that is the crux of what we're talking about. The average person that I've talked to about this that seems so worked up about this, they think that it's all together. This is an altogether separate investigation. There is Burgergate, there is J.J. McCarthy, there is all that
Which all
stuff.
happened.
Okay, that
It all happened.
That's all in the past. This, Mr. Rule, this, and thank you for your question because I think you're doing a better job of helping me explain this. And again, you guys can look this stuff up, okay? I'm not, trust me, I'm not the arbiter of all this. This is really easy if you do a Google search, okay? Google is your friend. This is all new. This is all new. This is the Connor Stallion stuff that has been in our vernacular, that has been in our brain. The NC2A still... Yes, Mr. Rule.
For the people that said, it's taken so long, and if they had something, they would have had it by now. Do you find that the reveals in this Connor Stallions, thing that didn't exist but maybe did exist, do you find that timeline with this Connor Stallions thing is pretty commensurate with the illegal recruiting of J.J. McCarthy when you look back on it?
More often than not, and one of your classmates brought up a great point earlier in Mr. KG. There are instances where they're going to act fast because they have to act fast. And you brought up Joe Paterno. Mm-hmm. They had to act fast. That was okay. But more often than not, and Mr. Rule, you and I often talk about exceptions to rules. There are always exceptions to the rules. It is commonplace for the NC2A to move as slow as a glacier. And this has been long and drawn out. And I can't say that Mr. KG is wrong, that maybe they don't have the smoking gun. I don't know the answer to that. I don't. But I do know they have not, beyond a shadow of a doubt, I cannot stress this enough, they have not ruled on the Connor Stallion stuff yet. Everything that's coming down the pipe is the Connor Stallion stuff.
Okay.
That is fair.
Mr. Belizian, I appreciate your time.
I thought you were going to ask me another question for a second. I was getting frustrated. No, it's all right. But Neil, again, people are apt to act out of emotion on this stuff. This is the answer. This is what the NCAA.
It would be different if we didn't know the NCAA's track history of how they govern their own sport,
right.
And it has not been good. And a lot of times it does seem petty. It does seem like they're out to get people. Not saying this in particular is a witch hunt by any means. What's done is done. They did the shit. I think we all know
like to be
that's
lied
the running
to.
joke is that they did the shit. But
they don't like to be lied to.
Exactly, or embarrassed in front of the media.
Right.
Yeah.
They
don't like to be outdone.
And I think this is factoring into some of the things that we are
I
seeing.
don't think
and
there's any. I don't think there's any question.
But KG,
No
would you
proof
say that
against
the
that.
main factor is that you did all the stuff that they're saying?
Clearly, Neil. Like, it's a
Wait a
running
minute.
joke.
Wait a
Yes,
minute.
Connor Stallions. Yeah, wait a minute. I was told, yes.
You told me just
I didn't-
moments ago that they got nothing.
Yeah, they don't have anything substantial to either a strip a
So
title.
do they
give
quote,
us a
have
ball
nothing
ban.
or have anything substantial?
All right, Mr. Belizian.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes, KG.
You're the best mediator here. So
All right, I'm trying.
if the NCAA comes out with this whole elaborate case of what the hell went on with the Connor Stallion situation, what do you think the end game would be? Is it something severe? Is it something to where we could get a bowl ban, a championship, nullified? Is there anything along those lines?
Mr. KG, I'm not trying to cop out of that answer. I don't know what they have. So, I mean, if they, for example, let me use an example. If they find out that Connor Stallions was so stupid that he bought tickets in his own name,
In which he did.
if they found that out, does that add to it? I think it does, especially with the blatant dishonesty that Mr. Stallion showed. Okay, and we all know Mr. Stallion said, I don't recall if I went to the Michigan State Central Michigan game. Again, I'm not picking a side here. I tried really hard.
But
to
what
be
you
fair.
expect the guy to do?
We all know
Yeah,
what
like,
happened.
come on,
okay?
what you
Let's
expect
all
him to
move
do?
on with our day.
I would have
I
lied
don't
too.
really blame him on that one. Like, I don't recall what I did on Friday night. so.
Exactly. It's the same shit. Like, we all
Benny, I'm going to go out on a limb, though.
Yeah.
If you knew
We would have did the same
that
shit.
you had sunglasses on and you were standing on the sideline.
Looking like a Bond.
Right. I'm going to guess that you, Mr. Rule. Yes,
it's like
Mr.
a
Rule.
bad spy movie.
Right.
Mr. Rule?
He just put a mustache
This is
on.
more of a question for KG, I guess, I would say.
Go ahead.
Because I was told moments ago, quote, that they got nothing, unquote.
Nothing to impose
And
anything
then
serious.
when the talk about was, well, Connor Stallions went to this game and bought tickets in his own name, KG very quickly and aggressively followed that up, which he did. Well, wouldn't that, quote, be something?
Not anything to once again,
Swing the
strip
rock.
a championship, impose bowl sanctions, any of that stuff, even NIL sanctions. I don't think it's enough.
Swing the rock, KG.
Well,
Go
no,
ahead.
No,
Young
but
Justin,
I was told that they have nothing.
they don't.
Even if
Substantial.
they do have something, in 2016, Baylor did something very similar.
No. I don't care about Baylor.
Hey.
And just like
now
Skydog
you
here in
don't
the
care about
chat,
Baylor.
I'll side with you on Michigan when you demand Michigan State be punished for what got Mel Tucker fired. He did. He got fired.
Yeah, he did get fired.
And
For anybody bringing that up, that's irrelevant to this point.
I'm bringing
So-
up Baylor because it is a very similar recruiting scandal that they had. They said I don't know the exact details because I read them very briefly.
hurry
this
up
morning.
and land the plane.
I got you.
Oh, you gonna put my
They
pants
did
on
the same
clock.
thing, and their coach was suspended for one game.
By the
Illegal
NCAA
recruiting
or by
the
Baylor?
NCAA.
Yeah.
One game.
I remember it.
So if it is literally just about illegal recruiting
Is
and the
that
cheeseburger
RG3? Who
stuff,
the hell were they recruiting?
it will be a one-game suspension. Now, if we're talking about the Connor Stallion stuff,
Well, the
That's all
cheeseburger
this
stuff
is.
already happened. Yeah.
then it's
That's all this is.
But
I'm-
you-
I'm-
there-
I,
that's
that's,
it.
I keep trying to hammer this. And it's really weird. And I'm not saying that people don't understand this. What's going on right now is the Connor Stallion stuff.
Yeah.
They haven't come out with a ruling yet. All the cheeseburger shit has already been handled. The difference now, and this is why I wonder how hard the NC2A is, and the devil's in the details in the wording. If you read these stories, if you can say repeat violator. That's the devil's in the details because you already got nailed for that, right? Now you've run Yes, Mr. Justin.
Mr. Sean Arthur Belizean, will you please shed
The
some
middle
light
name.
on the fact that what makes him a repeat offender if there was no actual NCAA sanctions other than the Harbaugh suspension that would make Sharon Moore the repeat offender?
Sharon Moore has already been investigated and punished for the
text
prior
message
stuff.
gate.
So that's what happened. So now if this is a separate entity, thus the term repeat offender.
Well, wouldn't
Or
it be
repeat-
the
let me-
same offense because they both were on Connor Stallions?
No, because that is from something separate. Here, I can read. Sharon Moore could face suspension after allegedly committing level 2 violations when investigators claim he detailed text messages between him and Stallions. Moore could be considered a repeat violator after he received punishment regarding a separate NC2A investigation
Okay, there you
into the illegal recruiting practices during the COVID-19 dead
The
period.
J.J.
So
McCarthy.
she's-
The J.J. McCarthy stuff.
Cheeseburger Gate, which I would hope every Michigan fan would now fully confess that wasn't just about a cheeseburger. Cheeseburger
No.
Gate.
Sean, I was told they had nothing.
I like cheeseburgers.
I love
do.
Right?
cheeseburgers. Cheeseburger.
Same
By
place,
the way,
same
it's
time.
stupid. Can we all be adults for a second? It's stupid
Very
that they're
stupid.
mad at a guy for buying a cheeseburger.
Yeah,
Can
like,
we-
get
can
the
we
fuck
all,
on.
Yeah.
Can we be adults?
Yep.
So, Mr. Justin, to further clarify,
And I would do it if it was my
Cheeseburger
school.
Gate is here,
Trying to
already
tell
been atoned for. Stallions hasn't been atoned.
So Sharon Moore gets blame in Burgergate, regardless of the fact that it was mainly Jim Harbaugh.
He was part of it, yes, and he suffered the.
And he's the last one left. That's the only one they got. Everybody else got the fuck on. So
'Cause
the
they were smart.
NCAA is going to be petty, and they're going to pick on Sharon Moore.
Well, is it
Which
petty?
is why we have to self-impose.
Is it petty, though, KG?
I think it is.
When
to
you're a
a
repeat
degree.
offender, is it
Yeah.
petty?
When you look at the history between the NCAA and Michigan over the last couple of years, yes, I do think it's petty.
Well, would you say that the NCAA kind of created that out of nowhere, or like Michigan did stuff?
Michigan did stuff. But NCAA are
So
also,
they should have just been allowed to just,
they're-
do it,
they're
do whatever
the
they want. It didn't
NCAA
matter.
are overplaying their hand, and people have been doing whatever the fuck they want in the NCAA for centuries.
So can I clarify one more time? The devil is in the detail, and I think this is a very, very big point. You've got the level 2 violations. You've got the level 1 violations in the sign stealing case that they still haven't ruled on. And oh, by the way, the NC2A has decided to tack on a level 1 charge for, quote, pattern of non-compliance. That could definitely
Yeah,
be
'cause
in
we
place.
tired of
and,
y'all
and
shit.
so let's what is a pattern of non-compliance? Lying.
Lying. Yeah.
That's all that is. So
Correct.
that's where we're at right now.
Odd. That's odd because, I rolled through a stop sign and had to pay $150.
Don't compare
I
this
just,
to
I,
a stop
I,
sign.
I literally slowed
That
down,
you got
looked,
off easy
and
on,
rolled
by
through
the
the
way.
stop sign.
You got off easy on, by the
Well,
way.
it wasn't a pattern of non-compliance with me either.
Yeah, it
you
might have
went,
been.
you went to court and you said I did it.
100%.
It's true.
Ryan's reaction in the super chat. When did Justin and Weird Al Yankovic get in the studio together? You ever get that before, Chase?
They throw it in the chat every once in a while,
Yeah.
but I mean, it doesn't bother me. So.
Chase, you're just such an easygoing dude.
Yeah, Chase.
Like, if we could all go through life like Chase, I think we'd be pretty cool.
I don't remember who I heard it from, Sean, but I heard like what you eat doesn't make me shit, and that just was like, damn.
Who you fuck don't make me come.
Yeah. So.
Okay, it's a good time to stop at the break. Let's talk about Planet Fitness, everyone. We're live at the Planet Fitness studios. I was just there a couple hours ago, as a matter of fact, getting it in. Little new PR runtime at the gym. But anyway, you can do that at Planet Fitness. Tons of treadmills, tons of weights. They got a stretch room, core, yoga stuff. All of it is there. And for just $24.99 a month, you have a black card with access to every Planet Fitness in the world. There's over 50 in Metro Detroit. There's over 2,600 of them around the world, and you can go to all of them with a Planet Fitness black card. The bottom line is this. I'll never be a member at another gym. Never. I'll never leave Planet Fitness. It's everything I've ever wanted. I don't need anything else. Planet Fitness, guys, I'm telling you, go to planetfitness.com or just pull in the parking lot and join there. Either way, it works. Planet Fitness, don't pay more money to lift the same weights.
Hey, Tony, what's up, bro?
Same circus, different clowns.
For sure. You want the usual, the big zip?
You know me too well.
I threw a little something extra in there for your ma.
Oh,
Hope
man.
she's doing all right.
Ay, guy, sei un santo. You're a saint.
All right, buddy, we'll see you next time, okay?
Grazie.
The boys of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. Enough Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join him every Tuesday on Big D Energy and Thursdays on Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit him at MichiganSportsAndSpine.com or give him a call at 248-426-9944.
All right, keeping it pushing. Big D Energy, Neil Rule, Sean Belizian in for DMAC, KG, Spencer Raxter, Young Justin is here, Chase in the Chase Lounge. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread, jump into there. Joe Mo, Lion King, Neil, great show, but all of this is nothing. Every school has nil now, and in my opinion, all the other schools gave money to the wrong players. What is the definition of cheating now?
Shit been going on.
But this happened before when it was cheating. Do you agree with that, KG?
I'm sorry?
Do you agree with that? That what happened here and what we're talking about happened under the old rules when it was cheating?
Technically, yes.
Okay. So you
Yes.
agree?
Yes.
You do agree.
Sign stealing. I don't know if this is part of it. I can't say this enough. Neil, they could legitimately say lack of institutional control. It depends how big of dicks do they want to be. I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to operate with people that saying they know what the NC2A is going to, I think you're full of shit. I do. I mean, we know what the notice of allegations is, but they're going to pull some things back. And as we were just talking about a few minutes ago, I just saw from Pat Forty, Committee on Infractions hearing for Michigan set for June 6th and 7th per sources. They should put that on pay-per-view.
So the only thing that came from the recruiting violation or the recruiting scandal was the self-imposed shit that Sharon Moore did last year. That's the only thing that came from that so far.
Pretty much.
And this is something totally different.
1,000. This is Connor Stallions.
And this is why I think they have nothing. Because the recruiting violation, something so simple, over a cheeseburger, whatever, it was wrong, sure. Nothing came from it.
Well, there were suspensions.
Yeah, but self-imposed.
Would you also agree with me that that's different than some of the things that have been alleged?
Sure, yes.
And now...
But with the sign still... Well, I don't know if it's directly the sign stealing or whether it's something else.
The magic words, again, are repeat violators. If they take this as you're a repeat violator and this is a, quote, lack of institutional control, I don't know. I don't know how far are they willing to go, because what was in the notice of allegations back in August and what they maybe held back and said, well, this is what we're going to present to you. You had a chance to self-punish yourself. We don't think you went near enough. Here's what we have.
Okay.
I don't.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, I can't say you're wrong. Does that make sense? I don't know what they have.
Yeah.
And
I don't think there's a
why
right or wrong answer
It's kind
here.
of funny to have these conversations. What I do know is there's more coming. What I do know is that the NC2A is pissed. They're so pissed, in fact, that they're having a hearing June 6th and 7th.
Yeah.
Mr. Rule, I have a question. Because
Sure.
of the fact that you have NCAA ties, I'm curious if the money that Michigan brings into the organization and all their media deals, if that will help them get a lighter punishment due to the fact that they are such a pillar in the NCAA.
It could. It definitely could.
I think that them saying "fuck you" to the NCAA for this whole period kind of null
their
and
case.
voids
Hurt 'em
that.
immensely.
Yeah, that like those two things balance each other out.
Yeah.
Like obviously, Michigan is one of, if not the biggest brand in college.
Yeah.
So it's college sports, so that's definitely factored in. But them saying "fuck you" to the NCAA for so long, I think, kind of balances those.
Spenny,
scales.
I
a good
couldn't
point.
agree
Yeah.
more with you. The NC2A knows it's a joke.
Yeah.
They know it.
Yep.
They know it. There's no
But
doubt in
you
my
can't
mind.
say it.
You can't say it.
Yeah.
You don't you dare bring more shame onto them. I'm convinced that's part of it. And
But Sean, do you see, and I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I think this is important. Young Justin, who is a what?
go on.
Western Michigan fan.
who
we
is
know.
a Western Michigan student.
See, I knew you were going there.
Right.
That does, so don't drop one on
We
me.
know
Just
your
go.
tricks.
I'm giving the resume. Who is a Western Michigan student, Western Michigan hockey fan, but Michigan football fan. Unless Michigan plays Western and I can't keep it straight. Anyway, the moral of the story is this. Young Justin, who is a Michigan football fan sometimes, Western Michigan student other times. Young Justin, Sean, just I think shed light on the fact he legit had no idea these two things are separate.
Most people didn't.
That's
Most people didn't.
that's my shock, KG.
Most people didn't.
Like that's what
I'm
I'm
sorry.
talking about here.
I think what bothers me the most is these are things that like we sat here last August on a hot day talking about this.
Yeah.
Like we really did. We sat here talking about this. When the Netflix thing came out, it was like, hey guys, just know it's not going to happen this year, but it's coming. We're going to have this
They got
conversation. And some people
They
said
got nothing.
it probably won't be until
Damn
before
right,
the
Neil.
season starts. Think summertime. Some people said that. Mr. Belegian said that. So that's where we're at right now. Is and again, then people get mad at you. It's like I didn't say any of this. Any of the information I gave you today did not come from me. This is from simply.
It's easily researchable.
It's right
Right.
here.
We,
like seriously, look it up. It's not that difficult.
But then I get this from Steve Wild. So if you did weed before it was legal, you're a criminal too, Neil. I mean, by definition.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
But Sean, this is my amazement.
This
it's
is Stallions.
the guy in the booth saying they got nothing,
This is
and then saying,
Stallions.
well, they did have something. Literally 6 minutes later.
No, Neil.
Then,
When
then
I-
it's young
the
Justin
whole
saying,
time when I said
well,
they
this
have
Connor
nothing,
Stallion stuff is
there's a-
different than the illegal recruiting thing. Yeah.
yes.
And I asked that question because Sean was saying that this is a repeat offense and where they build off
No,
each
no,
other.
he's a repeat offender.
He's a repeat offender. That's
It's
the
a
difference.
pattern with
that's
him.
that's the difference.
and you can just chalk that to my ADD
Right.
and me
And
being
we got
a
It's
little-
all right.
we got
No,
nothing
no.
concrete on the quote first offense.
Dude's
We got
blaming
nothing
his
concrete.
disabilities. Blaming your disability, Justin. Just throw it on your ADHD.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
there you go. That's your generation.
I do want to clean up some of these super chats.
Yes, please
we
do.
got quite a few of them here. Double G21 says we should thank Neil for lighting a fire under Javi's ass for this
You're welcome.
amazing turnaround. Thank you,
We
Neil.
all thank him
Neil.
for that shit.
Burn in the Woodward Sports chat said Sharon was the mastermind. It was his burger. So maybe that could be it. Freddie Felt 313 says, I was told the Natty would be vacated. War Eagle. So there we go. We got some Auburn fans in there.
Yeah.
Sorry, two more. We did the Weird Al Yankovic
Yeah.
one. And then Burn, who was on the grassy knoll when U of M beat OSU? Was it Connor Stallions? We
don't know.
We don't know.
So no, and thank you, Spenny, for
Yep.
keeping me honest on that. I certainly do appreciate it. But that's all. It's just this is going to go down in about a month's time.
Yep.
And
But-
I
and
saw
then-
somebody
we were
somebody in the
reconvened.
chat said, I forget their name. It was my favorite comment I've seen so far today. It was like Matt G or something. Matt G in the Woodward Sports chat says, "Is this a repeat episode?" I feel like we've done this one
Matt,
before.
we have.
Yeah.
1,000%.
Big
We
facts.
had,
Yeah.
like, literally, we had this conversation last August, and honestly, I don't think people wanted to listen. And that's why, Mr. Rule, no offense, I can't
Except for
tell
Javi.
your colleague, Mr. KG, he's wrong. I don't know. Nobody knows. When this hearing happens, June 6th and June 7th,
Shout out.
on June 8th, we might be
Shout
in
out.
this
Happy
room,
birthday.
all sitting there going, wow, they didn't hit him.
Yeah.
They didn't have shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
I think it's
only
just to
thing
be a
that they
slap in the
had,
face.
and again, please, I'm begging you, stop this. Like, for my own sanity, that was Connor Stallions on the sideline
we
at
know.
Michigan State.
Oh, we know. Shout
We
out
all
Big
know
Connor.
it.
Wait a
Like,
minute.
Big Connor.
I was told you got nothing.
I don't recall, Neil. But Sean,
go.
big Connor. Yeah, we know what's going on.
Yes.
We know.
Real cream of wheat. The time to do something was last year before they won the Natty. WTF, we talking about this still. This is my issue with it. Why are we talking about it? Ask Michigan. Ask Michigan
They
why.
just suspended their head coach.
Yeah.
After the president, and no one's even talking. The president left on a Sunday night. Like the news broke on a Sunday night, Sean. After
That's
the
not
coach.
a job. That's not a job you. I don't care if you're going to Florida.
Right.
I don't care where. That's not a job you walk away from.
So this
You
is
say
more
that until we don't know how much he
I'll
got
get back
paid.
to the poster in just a second. This is more coincidence now. Oh, by the way, so he left. They gave a 2-game suspension to Sharon Moore, and it's just strictly a coincidence that a couple hours later, we find out there's a hearing June 6th and June 7th. It's just a coincidence. That's all. That's all it is. To the poster, I would say, you're right. Why are we talking about that?
Well, this.
You're not wrong. Right.
That's Sean.
You're like, no, listen, you're not wrong. It should have been dealt with a long time ago. I'm going to say it one more time. This is the NCAA. They have been playing their own song for this stupid dance for years now.
Because they want to make themselves look good.
Don't say that you weren't warned. Don't say that you weren't warned. So on the day that Michigan, not Sean Baligian, not Neil Rule, not the NC2A, Michigan decided that they were going to suspend their coach. And oh, by the way, the NC2A announced that there's going to be this hearing, according to Pat Ford, June 6th and June 7th. How the fuck can't we talk about it?
Yeah.
Like, wake up, dude.
Everything is awesome.
No one would be able to convince me the fact that it's not a coincidence and that Michigan obviously caught wind that this was going to happen. That's why the president left. That's why they suspended Sharon Moore. All that is, I completely believe is true. There's no reason why they wouldn't suspend him and he wouldn't have left if they didn't already catch wind that this was going to happen.
And none of us know what's going to happen. So stop. And I told KG, I'm going to say it again. Worst case scenario, the NC2A takes your natty away. I'd laugh.
Cool.
They'll never, ever take that memory away from your
They
mind.
ain't got the balls,
I'd
though.
go out and buy more gear.
Yeah.
Hey, can I find anything on Yahoo that has 2023 Michigan National Champion? Are you kidding me? It doesn't mean anything. Do you know what this is for? This is for the people out there that are going to take their shots and call you illegitimate anyway. You are going to live with that for the rest of your days, okay?
Yep.
People were going to say that to you regardless.
Well, that was the admission to get in this club. Like, you don't get to choose how it's perceived.
Yep.
You don't
That's
get
it.
that choice.
That's it. Yeah. Every Michigan fan prior to 2023, you find me a Michigan fan that said those SEC teams were doing things legitimate.
Nobody.
Nobody
Come
did.
on, like this shit's been going
That's
on
what
for
I'm
years
talking
now.
about.
We got singled out for
So,
it, but it's fine.
I
It
will
is what
say
it is.
exactly what I said last August, and I mean this with all sincerity. You have lost the moral high ground.
That's fine.
That's
I never
it.
played that
That's
card,
it.
though.
That's
Some
your
people
loss.
did.
You lost the moral high ground.
Yeah.
Well, when you
some
say,
people
why
did.
are you talking about this? That's the moral high ground.
And once again, some people claim the moral high ground. I never did.
Again,
I just want to win.
For the people out there who, Neil, guys like you and I who have been doing this for a long time have had to deal with this. So we don't do it like that at Michigan.
Leaders and best.
I'd do it again.
So would I.
In a heartbeat.
I don't begrudge you of it. I don't begrudge you of it at all. No way, shape, or form.
I'd hire Satan himself if it meant we were winning a championship.
Just one time.
Just once.
I want Larry Bird one time. That's
Yep.
it. I'm cool. One time, Neil. That's it. What do you have to do? So that's where we're at, and it's like I said, it's unfortunate. I think you have one side, whether it be Michigan State or Ohio State or Michigan haters, that think they know exactly what's going to happen and have been telling people you're going to get hammered and you don't have a clue. And then you have the other side who, quite frankly, haven't been paying attention. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, that you hadn't been paying attention. Why are we talking about this? We told you we were going to be talking about it 9 months ago. Like, this was eventually going to happen, and it sounds like it's happening in about a month. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know. I have no idea.
We shall see. I'll be looking forward to it, though.
Yeah.
Do you think the death penalty is on the table?
No.
Right.
They'll never.
They ain't
Neil,
got the balls.
They'll never drop that again. Never.
No, they'll never do that. They're not going to take away the title because that makes them look bad.
Yeah,
100%.
They ain't got the balls.
Yeah. Well, you can't. Like, court of public perception.
True, but if you want to damn Michigan and give them, to the court of public opinion.
But KG, who does that make look bad? It makes Michigan look bad, obviously, but who also does it make look bad?
No, it makes the
you,
NCAA
because you
look
allowed it to
bad, but I
happen.
feel like it would make Michigan look worse if you're stripping their
No, I
fucking
think it makes the
championship
NCAA look
after
worse.
an undefeated season.
I'm with you, Neil. I don't think they go that far.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll never. You guys, if you the whole 30 for 30 thing, watch for the 30 for 30 on SMU. That the NCAA learned. The death penalty was
bad for business.
Was literally the death penalty.
Yeah.
It was. It was literally.
And
the
it was
death
bad
penalty.
for business.
Yeah, it was.
They've never gotten that.
They'll never drop
Dallas,
that again.
centric market
Yeah.
back. They never got it back.
So what you're telling me is slap
Especially
on
not
the
for
wrist.
Michigan.
That's what I'm hearing. Slap on the wrist. That's why I say
well,
they have nothing.
KG, I don't.
That's why I say they don't have anything.
It might be
anything substantial. Go ahead.
We talked about this, KG, when Harbaugh left and they hired Moore. And he's
the fall man.
He's going to be the fall guy. I get the feeling he's going to be the fall guy. He's going to dip. Now, my concern as Michigan fans, they're not going to do anything about the title. They're not going to do anything about that. My concern for Michigan fans would be if they're forced to move on from Sharon Moore, what does that do for Bryce Underwood?
Yep.
And you know how this works.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
That would be I would be very concerned. Very concerned about that.
Well, that was my next question is, do you think that they can bring in NIL sanctions in some way to affect recruiting?
No, because that's still that is
untamable.
years down the road.
Yeah.
They
That's
can't even manage
cheeseburger
NIL,
game.
right?
Yeah.
Let alone sanctions for it.
That's not going to. There is no NIL sanctions.
Rules, right?
I
There's
mean,
no
they can
rules
make it
around
up. They make up rules all the time.
Yeah, but you couldn't retroactively punish somebody for a rule that didn't exist.
And those are things that, Neil, like you said. I mean, I would hope everybody would agree. We have to lasso the transfer portal, and we have to lasso NIL. It is legitimately the wild, wild west.
But
the NCAA moving like a glacier, that isn't happening for years.
Well, I don't think it's them moving at a glacial pace about the NIL. Sean, here's the bottom line out of all this, and we'll use this the last couple minutes, and we'll take the break, because I do want to get onto the Tigers. Here's the deal with all of this, Sean. For you to, quote, limit someone's earning power, that sounds awfully like an employee-employer relationship.
1,000%.
And if you're going to go employee-employer relationship, then you need negotiated contracts. You need labor unions, labor attorneys. You have to have your own negotiators. Does it work by conference, team by team? How does it work? And that is a massive undertaking.
That is why I say it's years away.
And
years,
Sean,
if ever.
If
never
ever.
happen.
And here's why. Because, and guys, I'm just going to keep it 100 with everybody. And this probably flies in the face of, I work for an NCAA institution, but I'm just telling you this as my thoughts on it, just looking at the landscape. If you're going to go that route, if you're going to go trying to limit and put caps on NIL and stuff like that, then you got to make the financial playing field level itself out.
Yep.
Meaning the sports that generate money versus the sports that don't.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you have labor unions and labor negotiated contracts, you have a workplace.
You
have a business.
Yep.
And there is no room for
Dead weight.
people that don't carry their load.
Sorry, lacrosse.
Right. And that's
softball.
And that's where, but you need to think about it from this perspective too. The overwhelming majority of NCAA sports, meaning all the coaches that are employed, all the players, all the Title IX stuff, all of it, does that make up 90% of the NCAA? 80%? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yep. This is where, Neil, I think guys like you and I, we've been able to see it at the different level. And that I always laugh when I would hear, who was the guy in UConn a few years ago that said, "Man, we don't even eat. I don't know what." You guys, I've done hockey games in college. I've done football games at D1 and D2 levels. You should see some of the spreads these dudes have. Like stop it.
I gave Cassius Winston free food all the time when he came to Grand
Right.
Traverse
I
Park.
mean, that kind of stuff is hysterical. You and I have kind of seen the inner workings
Extra
on
pumpkin
things.
bread.
And the flip side to that, Neil, is so I point the finger at one side, I point the finger at the other side. The amount of money that is being churned from the NC2A tournament and this college football playoff is astronomical.
It's disgusting.
So it's hypocritical on both sides to say, "Oh, I can't even get a sandwich." Shut up with that. Stop it.
Oh, we can't afford to pay these kids.
Stop it.
Yeah.
And it goes both ways.
Absolutely.
It is. You've seen it. You've lived it. The amount of money. Go to a Final Four sometime. I challenge you to go to a Final Four. Go to a Final Four. It's the money's insane.
Oh, stupid.
We've talked about it. Dan Wetzel, our guy.
Yeah.
I've told you guys this before. Go back and read his book, Death to the BCS. You can get it online for $3, $4.
Yeah.
Read it. It's 20 years old.
And it still makes sense.
But it's still rooted in the basics. There is a guy in his book, he talks about it, a guy that is the chairman of the Sugar Bowl that runs the SEC. And 20 years ago, he's making $625,000 to run the Sugar Bowl. You know the Sugar Bowl that's been there forever, where they stay at the same hotels, use the same stadium, everything around it's the same for
Staple.
20.
Talk about a great gig.
Over a $500,000 job to tell people, hey, make sure the hotel keys are out here at the Ritz. You know, like that's what it is. And there are webs.
Must be tough time selling the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah, webs. There's tentacles to it.
Oh, yeah.
There's networks. There's all of it, guy. Everybody is juiced in. It's like the movie Casino, but about college sports.
And to a degree, the NCAA don't want to open up the skeletons of their
No,
So-
because their
it goes
tentacles they run deep too.
Neil,
Exactly.
I always use, like, for me, if you want to know how things work, there's Bill Hancock. Bill Hancock was the greatest enemy of expanding the college football playoff. There was no bigger enemy than Bill Hancock. None. I couldn't stand him. Some of the things that came out of his pie hole were so 1978 it made me sick. and yet, when it came time to get rid of the BCS and go to first the 14 playoff, who was named the executive director?
Really weird.
Like, if you can't tell me, like, that's like saying, hey, you know what? I know I need my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ to get to heaven, and Satan, you are my number one enemy. Well, Satan became the biggest sales guy for Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it was. And they did it with a straight fucking face.
Yeah.
They did it with
if you question it, the problem was with you.
Here's our executive director, Bill Hancock.
If they, like, before we go to break, on level of shadiness and scumbaggery, it's like Olympics, FIFA, NCAA.
Yeah.
Like,
And as of late, the race has tightened.
Yeah.
And there are moments where the NCAA peaks. It's like the end of the Kentucky Derby.
Right.
yeah.
Photo finish.
NCAA right now is closing strong.
And you're never going to believe this. Bill Hancock once worked for the U.S. Olympic Committee.
Oh, wow.
Can you imagine that? So he's
What?
hit 2 of 3.
Yeah.
He's hit 2 of 3.
In the super chat before we go to the break, Freddie Felt 313.
Shout out.
Neil, I'll cheat for an OU natty. Go Grizz.
Absolutely.
Hey man, why not?
You would stand on the sideline of Detroit Mercy games dressed differently.
Yeah, I was. Steve O'Baby. Hey, Woodward Sports Chat. Don't get angry at Neil. Get angry at your Michigan Wolverines for not following the rules. I mean, they're mad at me, Sean.
It's so weird.
They're mad at me.
I'm not mad at nothing. Bryce Underwood is our quarterback, and I'm looking forward to a great college season.
That's all you need to say.
Yep.
That's
all you need to say. You won the national championship,
Right.
man.
Danny G.
Period.
I love Michigan talk, but Tigers deserve love. Yes, we're doing it when we
Tigers.
come back. Tell them about Jars.
I will tell you about Jars. Jars wants to welcome everybody to their Deli Day sales. Make sure you go check them out. They are live now. Tons of different offers, different buy one, get ones. Make sure you go check out the Deli Day sales at Jars. Find them at shopjars.com or go to jars_life on Instagram for more information about their deli day deals.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
No one gives away more cash and prizes than Woodward Sports. You don't believe us? Here's our latest $10,000 winner.
You know, you guys posted, hey, if you guess all this stuff right, we'll give it's $10,000. I'm like, okay, well, why the hell not?
And the winning doesn't stop there. How about our Outkick Your Coverage winner?
Let's give it up for David Tully, everybody. David Tully. This guy's got a hot girl.
Bigger prizes, bigger giveaways, cash, merch, tickets, and more. All from the biggest sports network in Detroit. No one does it bigger and better than Woodward Sports. Make sure you're following, liking, subscribing on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube for your chances to share in the winning. From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
That's for men. Stop in, sit down, relax, get an award-winning haircut from one of our lovely, talented stylists. Make sure you tap in, scan that QR code right there. You can get a hot leather neck shave, scalp massage, hot towel treatment, all that good stuff at Lady Jane's. Walk-ins always welcome, open 7 days a week. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Welcome to hour number 2. Neil Rule, Sean Belesian in for D-Mac, KG, Spencer Raxter. Chase is in the Chase Lounge somewhere. Young Justin in the building. All of you in the Woodward Sports chat thread. Click the like button since you're here.
Might as well.
Here. You may as well do it. We wrapped up the Michigan discussion, although, KG, if I say what you just said.
I don't care.
All right. This is KG talking.
I wasn't trying to continue this. I'm not.
KG, tell the people what you just said.
But if there were a situation in which you said they force Sharon Moore to step down, then I might play the race card. I'm not gonna lie to you. Some people would be mad in the chat. They wouldn't do that. They wouldn't force a white coach to leave.
I wanted you to bring this up because I just want to see. Because there are some people in this chat now that are directly confounded.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
I'm curious. I'm going to sit here and chill for a minute. Because I want to see this.
I do it for them, to be honest. I'm not going to lie. I do it for them.
I do want to see it.
I think I don't think it's out of bounds to play that card if that were to happen. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Tigers pounded the Angels. God, they are bad. That bullpen.
They've been bad. Long time.
I was stunned. Steve Wild says it is racism. So there are people there on your side.
Hey, shout out.
All right. I was stunned that Kenley Jansen is still in the league. I did not know that. And then when they put his numbers up on the screen, I was like, what? And then Kenley Jansen remembered that he was Kenley Jansen. And Riley Green hit 2 balls out of the stadium.
First time in the history of the MLB.
Yep. Yeah. 9th inning. No, it was
first Tiger since Maglio to do it.
Anthony Cantu.
I was at that game.
Hey, you
Sunday afternoon. It was
nice.
phenomenal. Yeah.
Anthony Cantu in the chat. KG is a bum, typical black person, SMH. So they are at a crossroads.
I do it for you. Thank you, whoever. Who was that? Thank you.
Anthony Cantu.
Shout out Anthony Cantu.
I do it for you. What a great line.
I do it for you.
Fantastic, KG.
Oh yeah, get it. Let it out. Let it all out.
Yeah. But anyway, though, it was a good response.
Banned.
It was a good response in a minute. At a, I don't want to say like a crossroads or anything. I don't want to oversell it. They lost the Houston series. If they would have lost yesterday, they would have pushed in the Angels series, in a series that, at a borderline baseline is you should split. You should probably win 3 or 4, which they ended up doing. But Sean, it kind of hit me again, and there were some people pushing back about the World Series clip because I'm 1,000% steadfast. The Tigers are going to the World Series, and Sean, There are the reasons why, and then there's like the vibes angle of it. We don't know who the center fielder's going to be.
Right.
Javi pops up. He's robbing home runs in center field. We don't know who the shortstop's going to be. Look at the production that they're getting from the shortstop position. Crazy production. We don't have an everyday third baseman. Jace Young is here now.
Yeah.
And I feel confident with him in the field, to whereas before, every ground ball to third, I was like, every ground ball to the infield.
Yeah, it's still.
And Jace Young probably won't be here much longer when Veerling comes back.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah.
But with that being said, Parker Meadows is supposed to come back at some point. Sean, I don't know what it is, but since August 1st, they are it's like 50 and 52 and 25 or some astronomically crazy number that they are. Sean, you can't fake that for that long.
Nope.
And the main reason, you guys have heard me do this before, but the main reason why to me is because of A.J. Hinch.
I'm not going to argue with it. I told you a few weeks ago, I'm done wondering why. I'm done. You know what? Let me give you a reason. Everything you just said. Quick question. Who's got the biggest run differential in all of baseball right now?
Tigers.
The Detroit Tigers do.
Yep.
The Detroit Tigers do.
And
Who is leading the Detroit Tigers in WAR?
Javi Baez.
Javi Baez with a 1.5.
Shout out.
You add all of it up. What you just said, the run differential, the 1.5, the 1.5, only a 1.5 for Javi Baez. Okay, quick question. Who's number 2? Zach McKinstry.
Fire up chips.
None of this makes sense.
He's top 10 in on-base percentage in the MLB.
But would you? None of this makes sense. So I'm done questioning it. I am.
So am I.
And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to default to what you just said. AJ Hinch. Cool. Let's move on. Let's think about the next couple series now. That's where we're at as a fan base. None of it makes sense. Don't try to make sense of it. It just is.
To me, and we talked about it this morning, it's the offense, because we all know this Tigers pitching staff is arguably the best in the league, World Series caliber. They scored 34 runs across a 4-game series. This offense is different. You got to step up from a lot of the people 5 through 9 in your lineup, and that is what's really making the difference from this year and last year, because we got the same people on this team.
Playable.
They made no additions.
All those guys we're talking about were not playable last year.
They weren't.
But
now they are.
Including Javi.
Some of them got 800 OPS now. It's nuts.
It's insane.
It don't make sense.
It's absolutely insane. And I think what they did, I think what the Tigers' approach was, they further refined the matchup role. Yep. And A.J. Hinch has been able to pick and choose. This is my Javi center field day, off day Javi. Yep. Javi plays third here. McKinstry's short. Riley's going to play center today, but only today.
Right.
Like that's what it is. Like it is A.J. Hinch. And it's interesting. And Jack, if you're watching, I had a conversation. I was sitting next to a Yankees fan at the Marlins game.
Hey, shout out.
And on Friday night. And we got to talking about it. And I told him essentially what I said in that clip. I said, you guys understand, if we played you guys in the playoffs, we would beat you in 5 minimum. We would beat you in 5. And he laughed at that.
Really?
Was dismissive about it. Carlos Rondon, the pitching's good. We have Max Fried now.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he kept running the Max Fried. And Max Fried's good. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
He's good.
He's no Terry Scoobel.
But when you match
We're
it
talking
up.
about maybe 2 guys in your pitching rotation.
Yeah, when you match it up, pitcher for pitcher, it's not close.
We got 5 guys. We are running out of full clip.
And one of the best bullpens in the MLB.
And that's what it is.
Damn.
That too, yeah.
And you're getting Bo Brisky back. And you still got guys in the minors that you could bring up.
What was our biggest concern from a team standpoint in the offseason? I can't help
How are they going to score runs?
How are they going to score runs?
Home runs in particular. Do you remember we did that in a nickel package?
Yeah.
We were like, seriously, where are the home runs going to come from? And we had some people that are like living in yesteryear that said, it's not that important. It's not. And it's like,
it's vitally important.
It's vitally important today, guys. That's the game. I don't know how else to say it. Tigers are third in the American League right now in home runs.
Jesus.
Which is insane.
The Tigers are third today,
With the
right now.
same players.
I'm done. I'm not questioning this team anymore.
For all the
only
people-
question that I have, and this is what causes me to do this, is how far can it go? I mean, that's really but Neil, all jokes aside, when I look at the rest of the American League, I say, why not the Tigers? Really and truly, that's not being a slapdick. That's not being a fan. Why not the Tigers?
And that was my point, Sean. Like in the whole thing, I see no reason to fear anyone along the way to the World Series. No reason. The Yankees are flawed, Jack. I'm sorry. You were great to talk to.
Your pitching staff is sorry. How many more times do you have to live that, man? Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm
Their
being
bullpen's
funny.
abysmal.
Who's your closer?
Right.
Who's your setup guy?
They don't have one.
You gave us our guy in the bullpen. He said he was upset that that they
And he's
lost
going to be
him.
an all-star.
Most Yankee fans were. I remember that. Yeah, most.
Which was wild to me.
Those
that
are
they-
they was
those
hating on
under
them
the
during the
radar
season.
moves, though. And I think we have to give our general manager some credit. And I know not a lot of people wanted to give Scott Harris some credit. He's made a lot of those kind of just under the radar moves that didn't make the big blow, but have fit like hand in glove.
Yeah.
And
Tommy's one of them.
It's Brad Holmes-ish. I'm not saying he's Brad Holmes. It's Brad Holmes-ish.
I get what you're saying.
Woodward Sports Super Chat burn. Whoa, to be any team that beats us because these Tigers just beat the piss out of the teams in the next game and the next series. No, that is true. Woodward Sports Chat thread. No way says you did promise this. You did promise us a Super Bowl as well, Neil. I stand on that.
Mm-hmm.
This regime will win a Super Bowl.
I agree.
Well, can I pinpoint it to this year or last year? No, I stand on that.
It's coming.
When Brad Holmes leaves here, he will have left here with a Super Bowl title
It's
minimum.
coming.
Right.
Minimum. It will be there. Steve, Neil, give us the Kenta Watch update.
Ain't no Kenta Watch.
Sad to say, we
Ain't
never
no
did
more.
get to it. Sad to say, this is, you know what this is like, the Kenta Watch? It's a lot like childhood. You saw this, you saw this meme going around social media for a long time. One day, you played with your best friend for the last time, and neither of you knew it.
Yeah.
That was Kenta Watch. Kenta Watch was our childhood best friend that we played with every single day. And we loved being around each other. And we looked forward to each other's company. We couldn't wait to see each other. Because we were going to talk about baseball. We're going to be about the ball game and everything like that. Little did I know at the time that his last appearance, I gave my last Kenta Watch. And I'm not upset that it's over. I'm happy because it happened.
Well, yeah,
so Kenta, I bid you farewell officially. Kenta Watch is done. You are gone, but you are not forgotten, Kenta. Thank you for your service and good luck in your future endeavors. I will stop short of a social media appreciation post, however.
You think he gets one? He's got to get one, right?
Thank you, Kenta.
He's already been DFA'd.
Thank you, Kenta, for
multiple
giving
days.
up a
I doubt
home run in 3 pitches. We appreciate you.
There better not be. There better not be a Kenta.
Oh, Neil gonna lose his shit
Don't
if it
do
is.
it.
Sean.
Don't do it. Just
They're going to do it.
Neil, can I reinforce your point about refining the matchups? Because I'm curious to guess how many players in 2024 on the Tigers against left-handed pitching do you think were over an 800 OPS?
2.
Against left-handed pitching?
Yes.
Yeah, probably 2.
Yeah, it was 2. It was
Jerry-
Justin Henry Malloy and Ibanez. This year, how many guys do you think are over an 800 OPS against lefties?
7.
5.
Because we probably have 2 lefties that are
Yep.
there,
Riley
too.
Green is eating up left.
Yeah,
All right, who
probably
is it?
6.
Exactly. There are 6
Damn,
players
that was close.
above an 800 OPS against lefties.
Damn.
And there are 2 players who are above 1,000 OPS against lefties.
Andy Abaya is one of them. Yeah.
Andy Ibanez is not one of them.
Damn.
It
Is
is
it Torque and
Torres and Torque.
Yeah.
Do you know how good Tarek Skubal was the other night? Like, sometimes I think we're all guilty of doing this, like really and truly. And I used to see it all the time when JV was here. You forget and you take it for granted how dominant. Like his changeup, I heard a crazy number over the weekend. It was like 21 swings and misses on his changeup.
Yeah.
Like it's just something insane like that. It's like having the opportunity to watch a guy go out there and do things like that. Like it's almost like we're so happy about this, that, and the other thing. Sometimes we forget we are literally watching the best pitcher in baseball for well over a year now do his thing every 5th day.
Yeah.
Like really, this and again,
That's the reason they got good, Sean.
Neil, it like the people that weren't paying attention the last 2 months of 2023, Tarek Skubal became the best pitcher in baseball late in the year. We all moved on to the Lions. We all moved on to Michigan, Michigan State, whatever the case may be. And it was like, by the way, you had to do it.
Get your shit off.
You just had.
Get your shit off.
I'm
Neil.
kidding.
Had to do it. Yeah. No, but we have legitimately watched. I have no problem saying it. The best pitcher in baseball for a season and a half now.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Honestly, like a full season, because the end of the year 2 years ago, he was
That's what I'm saying.
unhittable.
It started like August of 23, all of 24 in the first couple months here. I mean, you're talking a season and a half.
Yeah.
I want to continue the Tigers discussion. We are going to get to the NFL draft stuff.
Shout out.
I was
shout
told
out Trey Sweeney.
Big shout out.
He's
Big
had-
bounce back from him.
Unbelievable.
That was the best game in his career.
Right.
You hear footsteps.
Right.
You see the injuries that are coming down the pipeline. You see, obviously, it's not going to happen this year.
So
but
Malloy's due any day now.
It's going to be Malloy and Young that are.
Yep.
If Parker, but who knows when Parker's coming back? But it'll be Malloy or Young for Veerling.
Yeah.
But you see what Bryce Rayner's doing. That guy's got a 97-mile-per-hour exit velocity on every ball he's hit the past 3 weeks. Like, he is scorching down there. That's not going to be anytime soon.
Yeah, but shortstop of the future.
Yeah.
I
Trey
haven't
Sweeney's
checked
hearing
in,
footsteps.
and I was going to watch the Whitecaps game the other night, and then I got busy doing something I forgot. How's Max Clark doing?
Max Clark is doing fine.
He's in like over 900 OPS.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I care about.
He's doing Max Clark.
All
things.
doubles, though, right?
He'll be in Double A pretty soon.
5'2".
That's what they said.
Okay.
He'll be in Double A pretty soon.
They gonna fast track him if he keep.
I
Man,
love him. I love the kid.
especially
They gonna
in that
fast track him.
ballpark, man.
Yeah.
It like honestly, you hit those gaps. Gosh, damn it!
if
You
I-
should.
If
Jeez.
I could get a year of Max Clark and Javi,
Oh,
the amount of
Center
aura,
field
the
platoon.
amount of aura on that Tigers team. Sean, Javi has aura. You have to admit.
I do, but it's not gonna last.
I'm just saying that would be
you
so
ever
because
been
Max Clark has
swallowed
aura.
up?
You put that with Javi out there, you would win games on drip alone.
It creams in your mouth
He's
a
got
little bit.
820 OPS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Burn. The team, not the owner, but Hinch and the young core just out of the minors woke up August 13th and said, let's just win games.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
the only explanation.
Everybody
I have a good line on this, and it's Javi related.
word.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Javi related.
Max Clark's going to be in Double A by probably July. Maybe
It creams in your mouth a
but
little bit.
He's going to be in Double A very
You
soon.
better get over to West Michigan and go see him. We need a Spencer Baxter report.
I love the kid. Honestly, I can't wait.
If you guys go to the
You
game,
ever
let me
been
know. I'll get tickets set
swallowed
up.
All right,
up?
hell yeah.
If you guys are going to go, let me know. I'll get the tickets set up. All right. Tell them about Mark White.
Mark White, if you're looking to buy or sell your home, Mark White should be your first choice. Visit him at markwhitesales.com or give him a call at 248-290-8242. Mark White should be your first choice when you're looking to buy or sell your home. Mark White will make it easy for you. And like I said, save you $5,000. $5,000. markwhitesales.com.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. Head to WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights. Live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Still doing the deal. If you haven't yet, scan the QR code on the screen above my head. You can download the Caesar Sportsbook app. Make your first deposit with the promo code Woodward1000. That way, when you make your first bet, all the way up to $1,000, if you lose it, you'll get it back as a free bonus bet. So Take it as an opportunity to get involved with sports betting. Guys, it's fun, right? Like, it's fun. Gives you a little extra juice when you're watching the game, and it's Caesars, right? One of the OGs of the sports betting game. The app is clean. It doesn't glitch out on you. It's easy to navigate. They got all the betting markets. Cook up those parlays all night long, everybody. Again, scan the QR code on the screen. Make your first deposit, and then your first bet with the code Woodward1000. Caesars Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. All right, one final bit on the Tigers here before we get to the Lions, because I was told that Brad Holmes is a failure. I was told that.
Who told you that?
Probably the same
Austin
people.
Locke of The Athletic.
Probably the same people that told me that the NCAA, quote, had nothing on Michigan.
Well, stop listening to said people. Except for that last guy. That last guy's pretty cool.
Is he? All right. Anyway, though, we've been talking about the Tigers thing. People are starting to get on board with the whole, why not the Tigers with the World Series? It is odd. As we wrap that up, Sean, we talk about what?
Nothing. Oh, no.
No, I'm kidding. No, when we talk about like fear, I don't fear the Yankees. I legit think that we would beat them rather handily in a playoff series. I fear the Guardians, man. Through all this winning we're doing, there's the Guardians 2 games back,
you
like
fear
always.
The Guardians, huh?
I do. I know people. And Sean, you pointed to it, but you weren't pointing to it for the reasons I think other people have been pointing to it. They're like, well, the Guardians are a minus 24 run differential. Those are the people that don't understand OPS, because today's day and age has changed. When you're down 8-1 and it's a 6th inning, you stay out there and pitch, bro. Mm-hmm. Like we're never gonna let go, Jack, and then you let go, just like Rose did, and let that pitcher sink to the bottom of the ocean. Like that's the way that it works. I don't put a lot of stock in run differential anymore because of that. There's 4 instances. We talked about it last week. Like the Guardians lost like 3 games 13-1 because they were down and just said, hey, we'll try again tomorrow, because that's the nature of baseball. But Sean, the turnaround from the beginning of August till now, and it's like 52-28 or some crazy number. I think that A.J. Hinch is a reason for it, and I think that why it's even better this year is because it's even more profound. There's even a bigger light on A.J. Hinch in the matchup game. And it turns out that for the Javi crowd or the anti-Javi crowd, like for you say people in here that are saying, well, Neil, if you're going to talk crap about Javi, you just better STFU right now. I will say this. When Javi left, the team got better. Is that fair?
100% fact.
Okay. Last year, was it pretty much that Javi was going to be in his spot because of the contract, and that's the way it's going to be, right?
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah, it's fair.
When he came back this year, that has not been the case. It's been yet another tool that A.J. Hinch has been able to move around to put in the best possible position to succeed. And we saw it with the bullpen last year. We had a pitcher in the playoffs. And then A.J. Hinch just kind of pieced everything else together. We had bullpen days in the playoffs.
Plural.
Like, that was our strategy.
Chaos.
Pitching chaos was a strategy. I think we I think that we have kind of hitting chaos right now. It feels the same. It looks the same. And A.J. Hinch kind of deploys his hitting matchups as he sees fit. And he moves Javi around, and he moves third base around, and he moves shortstop around. He's doing pitching chaos, but it's hitting chaos. I honestly believe that.
I think there's a lot of legitimacy to that, Neil. I do. And that's why this goes back. I'm not the guy anymore. I swear I'm not. But there are so many people that say, like, you know, from some of the cuts that we had, it's a long season. People were, I remember 2007. 2007 was going to be that linear thinking that we think of. Okay, gosh damn it, we fell short in 2006, but we added Gary Sheffield. Mm-hmm. Justin Verlander's even better now. As a matter of fact, he's going to fire a no-hitter in early June. And then by the time they hit the summer, they ran out of gas, and this is why, Neil, you said their name. Cleveland went like this. They're a team that they've been operating that way for a long, long time. They have. And I do not believe in any way, shape, or form that the way that Cleveland operates, and especially with the budget in which they operate with, will ever result in a World Series championship. but they're always going to be pesky. They're always going to be dangerous. They're always going to be that team that maybe you don't want to play come playoff time. So because of that, Neil, I think of all the teams that you mentioned, the one team that I'm not going to say that about is Cleveland.
For real.
This is how their franchise has operated for well over 2 decades now. Seriously, they're not going to spend a lot. They're going to get a lot of guys. They're going to get value from guys. They're going to do a lot of that mixing and matching and try to compete best they can. They're never going to go win a World Series. They came so cute and a couple times, but they're never. That's the team that I'm worried about, Neil.
Me too.
Honestly, I hate to say that. I don't want to go through that again. You know, I don't want to, especially, God forbid, we win the Central. Can you imagine eventually having to face Cleveland in the playoff after winning the Central and then knocking us out again?
Yeah.
I legit have more fear of the Cleveland Guardians than I do of the New York Yankees. 100%.
Sorry, I do. I'm with you.
Paper Chungus says it. Quan batting about $7 million against the Tigers. He does.
No, for real. That's real.
That son of a bitch.
That is real.
And they always have that. Jim Thome. I'm convinced Jim Thome never had an out against the Tigers. Never.
Carlos Santana.
Right. Thome was 111 for 111 with 108 home runs.
Sean,
and most of them were over 500 feet. It happened every guy.
Santana used to kill us.
Yeah, I was at a game. Tigers were winning 7-3 in the bottom of the ninth. I was at a game in Cleveland. Tigers were up 7-3. It's the bottom of the ninth. They get a run. The bases are loaded. Tommy's up. I told my wife, everybody get your stuff ready. I legit told her, everybody get your stuff ready because we're going to be leaving here. And he hit a ball into the trees. And you're thinking, trees in Cleveland? Yeah, come to find out they had trees like in the back of center field.
Holy shit.
Like it was massive. And I just got up and left.
Yeah.
I knew it. Everyone knew it. No, it's insane though. And and it doesn't make sense. It never makes sense. Like Alex Cobb. We all know Alex Cobb.
Oh, yeah, we do.
He was the Game 2 starter for the American League Championship Series against the Yankees. How do they do it? I don't know. They're probably sitting there saying the same thing about us right now.
Well, it's kind of funny you bring that up because if you remember, I think the 06 series in particular against the Yankees, when Torrey was there, they ran out of pitchers. Mm-hmm. They really, some of the guys that they put out there where it was just, this is who you're running out to start a potential elimination game, right? I mean, that's why I make the joke all the time. And this year is different because of the injury. I get it, but I don't want anybody telling Brian Cashman, pitching has been your Achilles heel for 20 years.
Because apparently he doesn't know.
He doesn't, honestly, this year's different. Spenny, you're absolutely right. He brought it up last week. This year's different because they have a stud in Cole who's out. Yeah. But here we are. It's the same conversation. You want to know why the Yankees haven't won a World Series since 2009? Look no further than their pitching staff.
Clearly.
And look, it's not to say don't tell them about pitching. Not in your free agent signings. They do everything that you can ask in free agency. But when you draft, don't draft any pitchers, Yankees. Don't do it.
Never.
Because you never do it.
They should bring back Jabba Chamberlain.
No.
Neil, am I wrong for feeling, and I promise I'm not trying to go at you, but I feel a little bit lied to.
About what?
You saying you concerned about the Guardians. Because I feel like you told me all along that the Tigers pitching is World Series level.
Yes.
And that, going against a Cleveland Guardians team, we should have nothing to worry about.
No, they have hitters.
Yeah, they do.
Like the best hitter in the division.
But I was told this division is weak.
Second best.
We don't have the best hitter in the division. We don't have the second best hitter.
They probably have the second and third best hitters in the division.
Yeah.
Now, they did lose Naylor.
Which
is big.
But having Quan and Ramirez,
and Ramirez,
like Bobby Witt.
I think Ramirez and Javi make the same money too, which is obscene.
Do you ever stop yourself some of the things that you say and like Spenny? It wasn't that long ago. I would have said stop being a slapdick to you for saying what you just said, and you can't say it anymore.
No,
you can't. Like the proof's in the pudding. We're not. You know what we're doing as a fan base now? We're talking about factual things about instead of you'll see, you'll all see. And wait till you see this Daz Cameron guy. That's our answer in center field for 15 years. That is how we lived for so many years.
Well,
telling you about surely what was to come.
Max Clark is like an add-on now. Like we're not saying, hey, just wait till Max Clark gets here.
Isn't that amazing?
They're saying, we have a generational prospect ready to go onto an ALCS at least level 2.
And then we'll see where he fits.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, that is, by the way,
Andrew Miller.
A couple of them, too.
Andrew Miller going to the Tigers. I felt that way. Look how good we are, and we're getting Andrew Miller. And then we promptly traded him. Dude was lights out as a closer for years.
Jose Ramirez makes $19 million this year. 19. He'll make 21 next year, 23 the year after, and then 25 in 2028. So we don't need... Javi makes more than Jose
Yeah, and
Ramirez.
like I said, after 3, I would say the Tigers probably have 4, 5, 6, and 7.
It's incredible.
When you look at hitters in this division.
It's incredible.
Absolutely.
So, and if Riley's turning it back, which he is, Riley's up in that top 3 consideration too. If he's turning it back on, and he has been the past couple weeks. Seeing him and Colt Keith pick up, that's why I feel like this offense is going to be sustainable. Because you were doing what you did in the beginning of the year.
Well, young guys get better.
And Riley Green and Colt Keith were both struggling.
Yeah, Riley Green's going to get better.
Your 2 guys that you expected to be in the middle of the lineup all year are both picking it up. You're still getting unexpected production from Zach McKinstry and Javier Baez. Yeah. You have the Spencer Torkelson turnaround. And then Matt Vierling, I don't know, the guy that was the second best bat in your lineup last year is coming back.
He's going to hit 270.
Yeah.
Yep,
he's a pro. Steve in the chat. Neil, I would actually say A.J. Hinch has had less to...
Dingler is the truth, too. Yeah.
To do less managing for the at-bats in game because Torque is crushing lefties and everybody else is hitting righties. But, Steve, it goes back to that. There's one more controllable for him now that Javi's just not at shortstop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's one more controllable. And it's been proven out. You give A.J. Hinch the controllables, he's going to make it work because we had, quote, pitching chaos as a pitcher in the playoffs and won a series.
And before we go to break, I do want to talk about Dylan Dingler up next because I think he's like everything that we wanted James McCann to be. Like, is what Dylan Dingler is. Like this big, strong Captain America, has the gun, can hit too. It's like he's looking like everything we wanted James McCann to be. But I love that pitching chaos is a term because Chris Fetter and A.J. Hinch are so good that they flipped bullpen day to pitching chaos and made it sound fucking cool.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying we're having a bullpen day, they're like, we're using pitching chaos. And everybody's like, oh yeah, that's fucking cool.
I'm with you on Dylan Dingler. That was one of our nickel package questions. Like best case scenario, this guy, we can finally do away with Jake Rogers. I know everybody loves Jake and his little mustache.
But
if you want to be serious, you need a better option at catcher.
No, he's Scooble's errand boy, so he's going to be around.
Yeah.
Like he serves Scooble in ways that, pause.
And that's fine. And that's fine. But use him in that capacity.
Right.
He is not
Dylan Dingler is your starting
He's
catcher.
the offensive catcher, yes.
But wait a minute, Sean.
Here we go. Were you told something?
I was. By the Alavila crowd. Alavila doesn't look that bad, which I will remind you, when you say the Jake Rogers thing will end the way that it ends, I will remind you that was your return for Justin Verlander, for J.D. Martinez,
Justin Upton,
Ian
Kinsler,
and Ian Kinsler. You got back Jake Rogers.
Yep.
So tell me more. All right, anyway.
That's, oh, God.
He has a great
me
mustache.
Throw up. Let me talk to you guys about Mad Packs. Spenmo Rags here to talk to you about Mad Packs. Mad Packs is the hottest new cannabis brand, and they're partnering with Woodward Sports. You saw the Mad Pack Minute come out. That's going to be a weekly occurrence, so make sure you stay tuned. Mad Packs, high-low, keeping me high for the low, delivering top-tier quality, unbeatable prices. Boom Shakalaka is a live resin-infused tarantula. This one's the bomb. Blizzard Packs, THCA moon rocks that hit like a blizzard. Coming to select retailers in May 2025. Stay tuned with Woodward Sports for all the latest updates. You know it's Mad Packs.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The boys of of summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports. Detroit sports. Make sure you listen to Ermanni and Edwards with Maz next 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network.
Loom Cannabis should be your one-stop shop for all your cannabis needs. Make sure you check them out. Use promo code WSN30 to get 30% off your entire order. Scan that QR code right there to shop their selection. And let me tell you, those buzzing drinks, if you like seltzers, the Loom Buzzin' Seltzers are amazing. So check it out. Get 30% off your entire order using promo code WSN30. It's Loom Cannabis.
All right, keeping it pushing. Neil Rule, Sean Belizian in for D-Mac, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase in the Chase Lounge. Someone asked, this is the Florida Panthers, like, City Connect, whatever they call it in hockey. What's the terminology in hockey?
Sweater?
That was an alternative.
Reverse retro, yeah.
That was an alternative logo, like back in the 90s. Like,
Yeah.
I actually have, like, a tan hat from when I went down there, like, an alternative logo like that. Yeah.
It is. It's a Matthew Tkachuk jersey that my friend from South Florida sent me when he heard me laughing about people that wear jersey T-shirts.
Would it be a sweater instead of a
'cause
shirt?
it's short.
Well, because they call it hockey sweaters. Not
They do,
shirt.
yeah. Reason I'm wearing it, they start the series against Toronto tonight. Always one of my favorite times of the year. And, Sean, I'm going to walk back. I said I wanted Toronto to lose in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. No, I go back to it. I want them to lose to a team from Miami.
Because you're a Florida fan.
No, because you know it drives Toronto people crazy.
They will.
You know it
And
drives them
they
crazy.
will.
Florida people beat us.
Yeah.
We started it. This is our sport. Ah.
They look like that.
I'm telling you, I have to. When you have conversations with the vast majority of people, I know in my head, I have like a weird Rain Man memory, okay? But when I have conversations with these people, I have to go fact check myself. This is a franchise that has won 2 playoff series in 2 decades.
Yeah.
And the way they carry on, it is batshit crazy.
They sound like Michigan fans talking about the allegations, don't they? Like,
Ha-ha.
just ignore.
I just looked right at KG.
Just ignore reality.
I do not recall.
But
Thank you.
it is. Hey, I'll tell you what, though. We saw a little bit of that. Not to get too deep into it. You want to change the narrative, then change the narrative. Don't talk about changing the narrative. And I think the Winnipeg Jets, in particular, their goaltender, Connor Hellebuyck, changed the narrative last night in real time.
I don't know.
He was so shaky the first period and a half, I thought that they were going to put 8 goals on him.
Yeah.
And then he shut the door.
He did.
Like, so now, as he shut the door.
I don't know if that changed the narrative on him.
Who?
though.
But we have to shut our mouth today.
Yeah, that's
we
fair.
do. We
Yeah,
and
you
I think
want-
that's it's to the people out there. Like, I think Toronto is Charmony soft.
Oh, for sure.
Charmony soft. Okay, you want to change that narrative? Go beat the big bad Florida Panthers.
Absolutely.
People like me, I have to go like this. That's it. You're right. You're not changing the narrative per se, and now all of a sudden that oh man, Toronto's legitimate. But you know what? I can't say anything.
Yeah.
If you beat Florida, congratulations. You're still halfway to a Stanley Cup championship. But I don't know if I can call you soft anymore.
And on top of that, not just to like focus it even more rather than just Toronto versus Florida, Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, you want to change the narrative? Go make sure Sam Bennett doesn't fuck your life up for a series. Like, stand up to the guy and beat him.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to. I don't think there's a chance in hell.
I think the Panthers are going to walk out of the East.
I just love that they could lose to a team from Miami that took the Stanley Cup to the beach. Like, I love all of that. I love it all.
The only thing better,
Toronto.
just off the top of my head, the only thing better would be to be like the 1 seed and play your most hated rival as an 8 seed and be up 3-1 in the series and then blow the series.
Yeah, that would have been great. It would have been.
That would have been so cool to see.
Guys, I was told I was told that Brad Holmes had a failure of a draft. I was told that.
Stop listening to people.
I was told that
Austin Mock
by Austin Mock
of The Athletic.
And I have it in front of me right
he
here.
Says it is law.
He gave the Lions draft a grade of F. Overall, the worst draft in the NFL.
F.
Quote, it's fair to question whether I should doubt the Lions draft strategy after the run they've been on the past few years. But of their 7 picks, 4 were considered reaches by our consensus board, including all 3 in the top 70. They also lost quite a bit of value in the trade market, highlighted by their big move up the board for wide receiver Isaac Tesla. They lost the 4th most value in trades during the draft. 4th, okay. And 3 teams below them either gained a first rounder or had the chance to draft Travis Hunter. The players may wind up being good fits, but I still think this was a bad process.
You know, here's the thing. I lost respect for The Athletic today. And I know we're not allowed to say that because we all hold The Athletic to a standard of excellence. I lost some respect for The Athletic today just on that piece, and I'm serious. And Neil, a lot of it comes down to what you just said. Can you read the end of that again? Do you mind me reading the end of that again? Because I think...
the last sentence?
Yeah, the last sentence, please.
Players, quote, the players may wind up being good fits, but I still think this was a bad process.
You're a fucking moron. You are. Listen to what you just... No, I want you to think about what he just said. They may be good fits.
Right. But it's an F.
But it's an F. My work's here done. Like, what's the next topic? Spenny, what do we got next? No, listen to how dumb... No, listen to how dumb that is. They may be good fits, right? A team that's already here. A team that doesn't need a quote-unquote superstar, right? They need pieces, which is the way you build a franchise. They need pieces. They need some continuance as well, which all these guys could be pieces. And Neil, number one, I think draft grades are awful. They're terrible. Let's have the conversation in 2 years. Let's talk about this in 2 years. I'll be the first guy to say, if none of these guys said this, hey, you know what, that Mock guy, holy shit, maybe he was right. I'd be the first guy to say it, okay? Draft grades in and of themselves are pathetic. But if his reasoning is, these guys may be good fits, but I'll give you an F, I don't even need to add anything to it. You're a moron. You're an idiot. Like, really, what am I missing? Am I missing something here?
Hold on, we got my boy Brandon Katz in his prime in the chat. Brad Holmes failed to address the lack of pass rush by drafting a fat D tackle with the first pick and an Egyptian who's played 4 years of football. Sounds a little racist, but yeah.
Wow. It's almost like
and an Egyptian.
Every NFL team doesn't need a big fat guy to put in the middle of your lineup. That's the
at
league
the defensive
today.
Tackle position.
That's the league today.
That is your pass rush. It's not him that does it. But the reason your pass rush is good is because you have a guy in the front, to quote Terry Foster, that has, quote, a big ass, unquote, in the front.
Damn, and he's not playing every 3 downs. Like, I don't know how old you are, Mr. Katz, but in my generation, a lot of these guys did play 3 downs. You're not doing it anymore. You go in there, huff and puff for 2 plays, go get your oxygen, and then come back in the next series after you get yourself your 3 and out or whatever the case may be. That's the National Football League today. Most of the problems that I think people have, Neil, I'm going to say it, is just a basic misunderstanding about what the NFL is today. That is the, and I'm sorry if that sounds condescending, that is the NFL today. You have pieces up front. Justin is going to come in. He might be our 3rd down specialist. Neil and I are going to play 1st and 2nd down. Spenny and KG and Justin are coming in on 3rd down. Neil, you might stay in on 3rd down. I need to sit it out. I might be in on 3rd down. That's the National Football League today. It's a rotation up front. This is a guy that's going to be but a part of that rotation. Why people... Now, if you say, I don't like the guy, I don't think he's going to pan out, I'm cool.
Yes.
I don't have any argument to that.
Thank you.
I don't. Like, if that happens, I'll be the first guy to say, wow, 2 years from now, holy shit, he hasn't done anything.
Is it because he's Egyptian that he won't pan out?
Right, and same thing. And like the Egyptian magician, I don't know. I have no idea. I know what people I trust think about him. But this is a guy, when you consider Brad Holmes again, this is a guy that's going to help this team down the line. Not so much next year. Be a part of it? Yeah, surely, I hope so, especially Williams. But this is a guy that's going to help the team down the line. And even if he hasn't, what are we talking about when you're talking about the Egyptian magician? What are we talking about?
6th-round pick.
Yeah.
Who cares?
But my thing about it, Sean, is like to say they lost the 4th most value in trades during the. What if the player hits? Then I would say you gain value in your trades. That's what I would say. The bottom line is this. And look, I like The Athletic. Let me put it all out there. I enjoy The Athletic. I pay for it like everybody else pays for it. That is my newspaper that I read. I do enjoy it. They do a great job. Great job. I love The Athletic. But Austin Mock here, bro, like for real. Yeah. To say the Lions, to say Brad Holmes had a grade of F in a draft.
It's
Austin,
crazy.
you understand there's nowhere else to go for the Lions. That every single piece, every single spot is filled with the Lions, which is why they go 15-2, which is why they go to the NFC Championship, which is why they're looking to overcome the final hurdle and cash in a Super Bowl. Every other spot is filled. They have no choice but to look long term. And then when you look at the pieces that they added and guard play, and they're taking a roll of the dice on a third receiver, right? By all accounts, even if Tesla works, if you keep everybody, which you already have Amon-Ra, if you do re-sign Jameson Williams, he is a ceiling of a number 3.
You're saying publicly that a team that put a big premium on the trenches, failed.
Right.
I'm sorry, you're a fucking idiot.
Hold on, a position of need at
No,
that. You got
really?
3 major guys coming off the books next year.
You're an idiot. And again, this takes me back to something draft grades are cute to look at. If you put anything into them, it's on you. It is, okay? So let's reconvene 2 years from now. Much like we had the conversation about Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell. Anybody want to redo? Anybody show of hands? Anybody? You want to redo on that?
Oh, no, I thought you said redo my take. Sorry.
No. Yeah, really. Do you no Jack Campbell, no Jahmyr Gibbs? Anybody? Okay, didn't think so. Other than the human being that was incapable of quantifying his dislike for Jack Campbell.
Right.
Because he just dislikes Jack Campbell. And I asked him like multiple, remember we talked to that Yahoo last week? Can you quantify it for me? Can you put it in numbers that I can understand? He didn't start his rookie year. Well, actually, he did 12 to 17 games. But don't let facts
out of position too, because he was so good they wanted to get him on the field.
Right. So this is the and KG, this is where when people were hammering Terry and Arnold, you and I had this conversation last October.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
still having it.
Let's wait.
Yeah.
Let's have this conversation next February about Terry and Arnold. Okay, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that people are going to look at the 2024 draft a little differly come.
Sean, and I don't even think you have to do that.
We don't.
Right now, you don't have to do that. His floor is a CB2.
Yep.
Yeah.
Second cornerback. His floor. That's what he is. A starting CB2. That's his floor. I truly 100% believe that I've seen enough out of him to know that is his floor. And guess what? If he never improves, which you don't really have any reason to think that he won't, because we talked about this, the Terry and Arnold of September was not the Terry and Arnold of October, which wasn't of November, which wasn't of December. So with that being said, if you said in the NFL, if the NFL came out and said, all right, everybody, new wrinkle for the draft next year, at pick 20, we guarantee a CB2. This cornerback is a guaranteed CB2. What do you think the trade market would look like for that?
Neil,
at 20.
No, you're right. And this is what, Neil, this is why I'm with you. I like The Athletic because I don't feel like The Athletic tries to troll me.
Yeah.
They're meat and potatoes.
And Elle in the chat says that. I wouldn't pay The Athletic to wipe my behind. Trashy, deceitful opinion journalism, not an ounce of integrity. Elle, I disagree with you 1,000%.
But in this case,
this is sketch.
I really believe that for the first time, The Athletic's really trying to troll me.
It's clickbait. Yeah.
And that's what makes me. I stand by it. I kind of lost some respect for The Athletic. Pride yourself as being the professional in a world of hot takes, okay?
Right.
I mean, and we are. We're living in a world of hot takes. You don't do that. I think somebody was trying to be the hot takest guy in the room.
Yeah,
and
that's all it was.
That's too bad.
Either you just don't like the Lions, you just don't like the Lions in the direction that they go, or you clickbaiting. Like, but you're not going to agree with every writer on The Athletic.
Right, and here's the thing. Even if you feel that they earned an F, your reasoning for it is so flawed.
Yeah.
Maybe they're fits. What? Well, if they're fits, how could you call it an F?
Right, that warrants at least a C if they're fits.
You know what? You and I read the same piece last week, Neil. I think it was in Yahoo, where somebody said there wasn't anything sexy about this draft. This was an eat your vegetables draft.
Yes.
Meat and potatoes.
Yeah. Come on, this is good for you. You know, I know you want
I don't want it.
I know you want that ice cream sundae. Listen, boy, you're not leaving that damn table until you eat those carrots. Like I can hear my old man.
The trenches are the carrots
And then
of the
we
draft.
would have the stare down. And then and my dad won every time. It was like, well, if I want to go play, I'd fire those carrots in my mouth. That's what this draft was. And it's good for you. It is. It's good for you.
Mm-hmm. Makes you feel good.
And Tesla could be like a Cherry's Jubilee.
Right.
He could be. Now, he could be, Praling's ice cream. Could. But the person making the dessert, every other dessert they've made has been really, really
Pretty
good.
damn good.
It's like my mom told me about Mexican fried ice cream, and I was like, that sounds like the most disgusting thing I've ever had.
Psych.
Hey, wait a second. This is pretty good.
Was
right?
I lied to?
Yeah. I think I was lied to. I
Only
was.
by the Michigan fans.
But anyway, let's give it time. Nobody wants to. We've become such an instant gratification society, and I think we pick and choose what we want to believe. And Neil, you said it best. I don't know how a human being, a living, breathing organism, could sit back and say, I don't trust Brad Holmes. It doesn't mean he's been infallible. There have been mistakes. There's no doubt about it. They're few and far between.
Yeah, not very many.
There are exceptions to a far greater overall rule. So that's the only drawback about draft time for me is just people do not understand, especially when you're talking about Brad Holmes. This is not a guy that drafted for 2025.
No.
He didn't draft for 2020. He doesn't.
There was not.
He's Bill Parcells, man.
There was nothing to draft for 2025.
Yeah.
Nope. There's nothing to draft for.
He says it every time. He uses free agency to fill needs and the draft to acquire talent.
There's nothing to draft for 2020. What position? Oh, we better get a tackle. Someone's got to push Penei Sewell. All right. Anyway, Buddy's Pizza. You can get pizza for need, and you need Buddy's Pizza. And guess what? You can save.
Look at
it! You can save 10% with the promo code 10meal when you order your food at Buddy'sPizza.com. It's a Monday night. You don't feel like cooking. Buddy's is the play. There's 22 of them around the Metro Detroit area. There's one near you. Just look at that pepperoni curl up, everyone. Just look at that. Original Detroit-style pizza. They invented Detroit-style pizza. Been in the game since 1946. They're as Detroit as it gets, everyone. Buddy's Pizza, the original Detroit-style pizza. Buddy'sPizza.com. 10meal, 10% off.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The boys who and Summer are ready to get back to the playoffs, and there's no better place to get your Tigers coverage than Woodward Sports. Join us all season long as we follow as our hometown Tigers claw and fight. This ball is gone! Boys are back in town. Feel the roar with Woodward Sports.
Neil Rule here for Planet Fitness. Over 50 locations in Metro Detroit. It's the easiest gym to get to. I promise you that. And it's the best gym you can work out in. I can promise you that as well. Why? I've been a member for over 3 years. Going on 4 as a matter of fact. And I'm never going to be a member at another gym because I love Planet Fitness. It gives me everything that I need. Got a new indoor PR 3-mile time today, as a matter of fact. He's able to do it at Planet Fitness, man. Tons of equipment, whatever you're into, the yoga, the stretching, the plyometrics, the weights, the cardio, all of it. Clean locker room, go take a shower, get on about your day. Planet Fitness, everybody. PlanetFitness.com. Some of you are paying $100 a month for a gym membership. I'll never understand it. $24.99 a month for a black card. It's all you need, everybody. Don't pay more money to lift the same weights. Planet Fitness. And just like that, last segment of the show. It's wild how that happens. That one.
We've had a lot of fun here today.
That's the pepperoni right there.
That corner's so delicious.
Yes.
That far corner, look at that. You can see it hanging up on the top of the pan. Gosh, is that gorgeous.
It absolutely is. Super Bowl Cartier, Brad Holmes is in over his head. That's how I feel and what I see.
All right, you know what? But Neil, hold on.
He's a scout at heart, not a Super Bowl minded.
That was a genuine laugh from
based on what? I want you to quantify that. Try. I'm not.
Wow.
I'm not trying to be funny.
Hey.
They went 15-2. They went to a championship game. They won the division 2 years in a row. I'm seriously. I want to understand. I'm not trying to be a jerk here.
But Sean, pass rush.
Help me understand.
Sean, if there is one thing the city of Detroit knows, it's what an elite NFL GM looks like. We experience that a lot.
Speed bump.
You try, right? You try.
Speed bump.
It's just unfortunately people.
It's the tale of two camps.
Mm-hmm. So and it's okay. It's all right. You know, but this is where you go, well, have they won a Super Bowl yet? Well, you got me. You got me. Right. You're right. And the window's closed. Yeah. How can I forget? So
can't get it done.
Super Bowl Cardia. I want you ignorant slappies to repeat these words to see if you really believe it. Okay, I have it right here. I want Davenport as my second defensive end to complete the Super Bowl defense.
Well, I'm sorry that, again, you have a general misunderstanding of football. I can be condescending, too. I'm actually pretty good at it. You're going to have to trust me. I'm sorry that you have a very simple misunderstanding of football and that there will be multiple guys added to this. And the draft does not end the acquisition period. In fact, you can get more guys before camp. Then you can get more guys after camp. Then you can get guys via trade. So by your simpleton question, Super Bowl Cartier, it shows to me that you have a very simple misunderstanding about the game of football and that rotational stuff that we talked about. But we're here for the education. Yeah. You're right. Is that what you want to hear? You're right. If they only add Marcus Davenport, I would be disappointed.
Mr. Belizean.
Yes, sir.
You're telling me right now, as we sit in May, that the roster is going to be different by the time the Super Bowl comes around in February?
Somebody's our star pupil of the day.
What?
Justin,
get him a gold star.
I'm going to give you a star, and you show your father what you earned today, young man.
I will, because that's crazy. I can't even comprehend the fact that in May, the roster is going to be different than at the start of the season.
So in other words, you could add, say, Zadarius Smith and Marcus Davenport.
Wow.
And go get somebody else. And then, you know what, you guys? You don't have to use them all at the same time.
Wow.
You can keep guys fresh.
Sean Belizean's hilarious.
Right?
You only have to play 11 players?
Here's the worst part. People like that are like condescending. That's Super Bowl Cartier. Are you trying to be that guy? Well, you did it. If you're trying, congratulations. You did it. That is moronic,
People
friend.
really just feel that way. But I spoke to it. I keep saying it. You have to adjust your thinking when you don't get what you want. because Brad is running this team and he's running it efficiently. I don't even like pimping out the fact that we can get another player. Yeah, we can, but if Marcus Davenport is going to be what they roll with and they don't add any more people between now and camp at the edge rushing position, you still going to show up to watch the games. You still going to cheer as a fan. So you got to deal with it. It is what it is.
Come playoff time, I have a feeling that the roster will look different because, again, you can make more acquisitions. And can we remind everybody how good everything was before the injuries happened last year, too?
And that's what Brad Holmes feels.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You
You could not trust or believe in Brad Holmes and what he's doing. You have to trust and believe that Super Bowl Cartier knows how to win a Super Bowl more than Brad Holmes does.
And then my other thing would be, like, I don't know, a good team like the Chiefs, Chris Jones, right? Mm-hmm. Who's on the other end of Chris Jones?
Karlaftis,
yeah.
Oh, all 8 sacks that he had, huh?
Yeah, same with the Eagles. Surely the Eagles had a 15-sack guy last year. They must have, because they won a Super Bowl. So they must have not only had a 15-plus sack guy, which the Lions do, that he's projected to be, they have to have another one, too, right? They had 2 elite defensive ends on the Eagles last year, right? They won the Super Bowl. They had to.
Right. Oh, 100%. Well, they did, and they lost him in free agency.
Yeah.
They had a good one.
Yeah, their runs over.
All 6 sacks
but
that he
they
had.
had to have 2, right?
Yeah.
Because the Lions have 1, but the Eagles had to have 2 to win the Super Bowl. Right?
But that's my point. And by the way, Chris Jones and George Karlaftis last year combined for 14 sacks. Aiden will have more than that alone.
And
they did add their edge.
But no,
he's coming back.
That's the only thing.
That's the most beautiful thing about it, though. Like, not to take away from, in particular, Philadelphia, they didn't have to have one guy stand
rotation.
out. They had a nice rotation. They had guys that could get after the quarterback and make his life miserable. Did you watch the Super Bowl Cartier? Did you watch it? Like, come on. Like,
Mr. Rule, Mr. Legion, one more question, if you do not mind. Sure. Marcus Davenport, what is his concern in terms of him as a player? Injuries. Oh, so it's not his play on the field?
It's never been his play on the field.
Oh, so if you're telling me if you get a healthy season out of Davenport that he is a good enough edge to pair with Hutchinson on the other side, adding with more people in the rotation?
It would be highly probable, Mr. Justin.
Wow. I'm getting my mind blown right now. I can't believe a player that's issues is injuries, but if he's on the field, he's effective. Oh, my God.
Sorry, Sean. I'm sorry I did that to you.
But, Neil, more often than not, when you ask somebody to quantify or explain, their only response is, you're dumb.
Apparently,
you're a slappy.
Well,
it's
apparently
really
it's over for the Eagles, too, because Josh Sweat led them in sacks last year, and he left.
It's so strange.
Howie Roseman's a trash GM, bro.
He is terrible.
Who's going to be the other defensive end?
Awful.
All right. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Super Bowl window's over.
It's it. Shut it down. Shut this show down. Neil Rule, Sean Belizean, KG, Spencer Raxter, Chase, Young Justin. Thanks, everybody, for tapping in. Big D Energy. Well, see you later.
Bye.